Hello, how's it going? Here we go. We're on. Yeah, bitches, we did it. What up, guys, gals, everything in between? Here we are again for another one of these. My name is Corey. I'm the host. Here we go. Welcome. Hello. Howdy. You're still on the intermission shot? Yeah, this is the main shot. This will always be that. Shut up. All right. Ginger, nothing for that. Yeah, what should we do for Ginger? We gotta. Yeah, we're recording, Mikey. I got the recording down. I got the transition. I got all that. I fucked up the intro a little bit, but you know, it was all before I hit record. So who really gives a fuck? Starting out with a little one night in Bangkok, because you know that's how we do's around here. Pretty great. We got a really weird, fun show for you today. It's wacky, it's wild, it's everything in between. Yeah, hello. How are you guys all doing? How are we feeling, you know? That's what I want to know. How's everything doing, right? Where is this? Okay. So, hold on. Okay. Where is it, though? That's the funny thing. Okay, hold on. We're already... yeah. Well, it's going to be one of these things. Shout out to everybody. Hi. All right, we're back in. Here we go. Mic check. Test. Yes, we're recording. Somebody already asked that. Lonely, slightly depressed. The weed helps. Got a new bed frame. Cool. Nobody cares. Mic check. Testes. 1, 2. Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Yeah. What the fuck is this garbage? Trying to tend to my fuck trophies or kids. Yeah, it is hump day for us, isn't it? Oh, sweet. New cheer. I like that weird ass, weird intro to it. Just like. Just sounds so cool and fucking weird, right? Right? Alright. Ever heard of Mule Skinner Blues by Fenderman? Mule Skinner? No. Is it? All right, here, hold on. You know what? Let's I'm gonna mute the computer volume quick, and I'm gonna just take a little, I'm not trying to get copyright strikes or anything, but okay, we will watch it though. I mean, as long as we don't have sound. Oh, that's weird. I bet if I talk over it, you know what? Who cares? I'll show you guys.
Good morning, Captain.
Look at this shit. That's fucking weird. It's kind of like a
good morning to you. Do you need another mule skinner down on your new mud run?
I was not. All right, I was not expecting that. That's not bad. I don't mind that. You know what? We're gonna set this and see if we don't come back to it later, and maybe we'll do it. Somehow I was watching yesterday's show. Very confusing. I don't know why you would do that. That would be very confusing. Yeah, I don't know. You just click the alert. Are you not subscribed with alerts problem yet? Is that why? You getting that non-alert? Yeah. I don't know. So Cinco de Mayo's probably not happening, right? Canceled would be my guess. I mean, not flat out canceled, but canceled enough. Remember when they were telling us we'd be back by May 4th? I guess the 4th was not with us this year, huh? Get it? At least I probably don't have to fucking deal with that. There's that. All right. Maybe Corona will be on their side. Remember when Trump said Easter? Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Check it out. I've been telling you assholes June the whole time. And this is, one of the things I deal with all the time is people coming on me. Ooh, uh-oh. Hope nobody clips that. My biggest problem is people come on me a lot. Why did I repeat it for comedic advice? That's only going to make it easier to clip. No, people have been coming at me all day and like this last week because there's more and more evidence coming out that, China, labs, all that shit. But people fucking like, they don't care. Yeah, Wisconsin's a crazy world. They are all open. Valley Fair gonna open? I don't think so. What's interesting is like a lot of places that opened early. We're gonna talk about that. Actually, we can pop into it right now. There's a lot of places that are going back on this a little bit. The main one being Mississippi, who opened for like a day and then saw record numbers and then said shut it back up. And this is more what I'm afraid of than anything else personally, because the places like Minnesota that ratchet this, it's just going to be like, oh yeah, see, this is why we're doing this. And that's a dangerous precedent because, again, who knows? So this is the guy from, Mississippi. So some background about this, right, is that Mississippi governor, his last name's Reeves, he basically was opening the states, right? And then on Friday of last week, he eased back on it, easing back on social distancing, all that. And then the state experienced the single largest day jump in both coronavirus infections and deaths tied to the disease. And he said that they're thinking that it's a blip, and he's defending the stance to reopen. It's very interesting what's going on. Oh, shit. Mikey Two Milks. Bring on Derek. Or what? Or what? Or what? Wait, which Derek? Who do you want on? Who do you want? You tell me. You're running the show, I guess. You fucking tell me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Derek Johnson now? I mean, like, you saw it on Facebook? Oh, yeah? Did you? Is he promoting himself already? Motherfucker. Okay. We'll get there. Spoiler alert, Mikey. Why you got to do that? You just come in here and you fucking ruin the rhythm? Now I have to jump over to a guest? Or you'll get mad at me? Ruining the surprise for everybody? You're like that kid that's like, this is how that magic trick works. Crack Babies 89 says, the Real Life in Hutchinson Facebook group is going virus-free weekend and muting everyone that posts about it, and me for calling it censorship. Don't mind me, hashtag spoiler. Yeah, you did. Now I forgot. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about this Mississippi guy. So this guy's defending his decision to reopen, even though, yeah, you know what? Let's just do Derek. You're right. Fuck this, right? You just want the people out of the gates. I live to serve. We'll get to the bottom of the shit, and we will, ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. Right. Mikey's fucking up the flow of everything because he wants to just give spoilers. What a dick bag. What a fucking dick canoe. I bet you were like standing outside fucking the new Star Wars films and you were like, Han dies. Chewie dies. One of my favorite trolls ever was I told everybody that Chewie died in the last Star Wars movie. And he didn't, but there's a scene where you're meant to believe he did. And I had a buddy of mine that walked out of that movie. You're not sorry, Mikey. Don't act like you're fucking sorry. You aren't sorry. You did this. And now, here we are, bowing down to you, because this is what you wanted. Fine. Whatever. Nobody gives a shit. Let's Yeah, I do too, actually. It's weird. Like, spoilers aren't really a thing to me. And maybe we'll talk about with Derek a little bit about this, but, like, it's really weird to me how people go spoilers, but, like, who cares, right? Let's do this. All right. Hold on. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Hi, I can hear you kind of. Hi.
Did it work?
There you go.
Hey, there
That's
we
way better.
go.
Hey,
Now I
what's
can
up?
hear you.
All right, your first time calling
How's
in.
it going?
Good job. Well, actually, it's going bad, and I've got a bone to pick with you. So we're just going to jump right into it. First and foremost, why don't you identify to our entire room of 20-plus viewers who you are, since nobody knew?
Oh, I'm Derek Johnson. My Twitter handle's Stolen VCR. I'm a local Minneapolis comedian.
great.
I'm a hack fraud.
So
yeah,
what
that's
happened
me.
was you were the first guest that we've had basically put on Facebook that you were going to be on it. Like, you're the first person that was proud about this call-in.
I'm like, hey, I get to do something besides contemplate suicide. This is great.
Right.
Damn it.
Right. And as such, one of our locals in here, Mikey Two Milks, saw it and just out of nowhere said, "Get Derek Johnson on here." Like, he just ruined the surprise for everybody. This whole show was gonna have this like fucking chaotic, awesome run to it, and we were gonna ease into it, and I was gonna get to you to where we could talk about depression and video games, and but instead he interrupts my coronavirus like speech. So now you and I just have to talk hardcore politics. I'm sorry, Mikey did this to you.
I understand. Did you say Mikey Two Milks?
Yeah, that's the Twitch names are really on fire in here. It's pretty great.
That is really one of the better handles I've heard.
Yeah, Mikey Two Milks is pretty good. There's a bunch of them. Like, on the day show of this, the Steel Toe Morning Show, which is where a lot of these listeners are from. They have just like some of the craziest names you've seen. Like, I mean, I kind of like it. I kind of like people hiding behind screen names. I think that I'm just enough of an aged-in internet Reddit troll that like I prefer this.
Yeah, I caught flack from Ali Sultan for me not being like the only local comic that doesn't have a handle with my name in it. And I'm like, I can't be Derek Comedy because fucking didn't Donald Glover have that as a YouTube channel or some shit?
Yeah, but he probably didn't have it with 2 R's.
No, he did. That was what pissed me off.
It's kind of funny. Crack Babies 89 says, "Say my name." I want to be famous on Twitch.
These names are on fire.
I know, pretty good, right?
We played with a guy on Halo 3 whose name was Hitler Was a Prophet.
Wow.
He was very good at Halo though, but it's probably because of his political ideologies preventing him from having any socializing.
I did one time wander into the dark Minecraft web. I don't know what your stance is on Minecraft. But,
I love Minecraft, but there's definitely a seedy underbelly.
Right. Like, so the thing about Minecraft that's funny is, like, me and my buddy were arguing about it, and I was like, no, there's nowhere that's really gross in Minecraft. He's like, yeah, there is. And he pointed me to a couple subreddits that just had, like, servers. And I literally came into a server that was called New Germany. And it was just like a bunch of castles built with like fucking swastikas everywhere. And I was like, I'm going to leave.
No.
But before I left, I built a Jewish Star of David right outside the castle.
In defiance.
Yeah, that was true story. They have like this giant like road leading into the castle, but all the people that were working on they had like mine shafts and probably gas chambers, fucking assholes. But like they're building
this MEIN shafts.
Yeah, Minecraft. Mine. Dine and shaft. Mine.
That low fruit, delicious.
Mikey Two Milk says, my Xbox gamer tag is Hate Haji.
That guy's probably really good at Call of Duty.
Freaky Deaky says, I want my name to be immortalized in the Twitch Hall of Fame.
Freaky Deaky? That's a good one too. You remember the show Freakazoid? The dude who runs around
Yeah, Freakazoid
is
is dope.
everywhere. What a program. We need some more Freakazoid references in the modern age. I'd be all on board for a Freakazoid reboot.
I mean, I wouldn't be, just because if you're going to be rebooting Freakazoid, let's fucking jump the shark and go right to Animaniacs.
You are completely right. You are.
Because, like,
you're
with
1000%
Animaniacs, you get,
right.
like, fucking the Good Feathers, you get Pinky and the Brain. You get, like,
Good
all
Feathers
this...
is so fucking funny.
Right. You get Buttons and Mindy. I could go without that
It's all,
squirrel. I
like-
don't really like that squirrel that much.
Yeah, the like Moxie squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too into it myself either.
Now everybody's in
Yeah,
here
dude,
talking.
it's
See,
just-
we got everybody talking cartoons. And the people are going, Bradley138 says Earthworm Jim was better. Like the cartoon or the game?
Ooh, the game was better than the cartoon. Firm stance.
Med City
Got
Madman
it on
says
the Super
Kablam was
Nintendo.
better.
Kablam was a slapper, dude. Kablam was so good. They had fucking, I think it was called Life with Lulu, was that terrifying, like halfway between stop motion and puppets show, and like they incorporated some live action elements to it. I remember an episode where she like fell into her couch, and there was like these elderly people that lived in her couch or some shit, and they were live action. That show was fucked. They had Action Now on there, and that was some like early Robot Chicken style.
Yeah, Action
shit.
League
That was-
now.
Yeah, that was some of my favorite. The Flesh and shit. Fucking Stinky Diver. Stinky Diver was just like a 3 3/4 scale GI Joe.
Prometheus and
I think
Bob.
I actually had.
Mad City Madman's just yelling
Yep.
him out.
Yeah, Prometheus and Bob was super fucking funny. It was just like Bob constantly almost murdering Prometheus because he's trying to document human evolution.
Check out the sweet. So Matt Doima is on your side, right? And check out the. He said they are rebooting Animaniacs, but you know Matt Doima, right? Like the
Yeah, of
comic.
course.
Yeah. So check out his sweet
Of
Twitch.
the Awful Service podcast.
Yeah, check out his sweet Twitch name, Matt Doima.
Dude, killer. Ali Sultan would love that.
Oh yeah.
He
You keep
knows
mentioning
exactly
that.
who
It seemed like you got a
Yeah,
little
'cause
little angry about it.
I was super angry. I was like, "How do you not know the one guy whose name is fucking stolen VCR is Derek? I'm the VHS tape guy." Well, no one remembers or cares about me. So
Just because you
But
grew up
no, he had
poor
a
and
fair
had to go
point.
to a pawn shop doesn't make you the VHS guy.
yes, it does, Corey.
No, there's people
That's
that actually
exactly
grew
what
up with
does.
VCRs, you twit. Did you
Yeah,
ever have to?
me.
Did you have to
I
ever
was
fix your broken VCR by resoldering it so that you could watch Look Who's Talking Too? Don't you fucking start with me, man.
I had to do it to watch The Sandlot. It was because I have good taste in cinema. I had to jam a butter knife into my forehead, like top-loading VCR, to try to pry out a tape of The Sandlot that got jammed in there when our power went out, and it like caused like a surge to go to the VCR and fried it, so the fucker wouldn't open up, like the top loader wouldn't pop up.
Jesus.
To pry it open like a treasure chest to get out my fucking precious copy of The Sandlot.
Was that your most precious belonging at the time?
It really was. It was akin to the scene in Bowls when they bust open the Stanley Yelnats chest, and there's all those bank.
Fun
So-
fact about me: I have never seen the movie Holes.
Have you read the book though?
No. My sister, so I have a little sister. My
Oh,
sister was like
man.
super into it, like got into the books and the movies. And it was one of those things where she became so annoying, I just wrote it off to piss her off.
Oh no, I've definitely done that. But Holes, you're robbing yourself of something beautiful. It might be beyond your years at this point, because like, I mean, we gotta keep in mind, I think I was like 8 or 9 when Holes came out, and that movie fucking changed my life. I was like, dude, I didn't know. For one, I didn't know white people were allowed to rap. That was cool. And then
You
two,
didn't know. You don't know
I was
Eminem or
just-
Slug? Shut up.
no, my parents didn't let me.
So Holes was the one white rapper that made it through into your perspective. You're like, wow, I really can be anything I want.
Shia LaBeouf taught me that I could be anything I want, long before the "Just Do It" meme.
Yeah, how are you
because the
going to
D10
disrespect the
boys dropped
greatest
fucking
rapper of all
banger.
time, Snow? And in his words, a leaky boom boom down.
Okay, we all know the greatest rapper of all time is the Funky Homo Sapien. I'll hear nothing else of the sort.
You've got a point there, Mr. Bobalina, Mr. Bob Domalina. Do you get that one or no? Is that
You
over your
gotta
head?
wash your ass.
Did you
Wait,
get that reference?
You kind of cut out and I was sipping
Oh, I
alcoholic
said
beverages. What did
whatever you say, Mr. Dobalina, Mr. Bob Domalina.
No, that goes right over my head.
So that is one of the first singles that Del the Funky Homo Sapien ever had.
Damn.
Yeah.
You got me, sir.
Look up Mr.
I'm all about
Dobalina.
both
And
sides
it's
of the
actually kind of
brain,
cool.
and
It's
then-
like Mr. Dobalina, Mr. Bob Dobalina, Mr. Dobalina, Mr. Bob. It's back when they still had like MTV Yo Raps. And they had,
Yeah.
and he was, because Del the Funky Homo Sapien, it's like, I think it's Ice Cube. He's somebody really famous's cousin. And he was like their fucking and one, like fucking Eddie Murphy's brother.
Yeah, I think he had to have been. I think you were right on the money with Ice Cube.
Yeah, I think it's Ice Cube.
I feel like that's. But yeah, like so many people bit Del's flow in that era too, because like he kind of he almost like is in the way that people sort of will imitate like Will Ferrell's George W. instead of actual George W. A lot of people imitated a cadence similar to Del as opposed to actually imitating Del. And I feel like that's where that like
kind of like how
in current days.
kind of like how all of mumble rap is just trying to be ludicrous.
Yeah, because like he did that like stutter rap stuff, and like it was cool when he did it, but not when 900,000 other people do it on SoundCloud who dye their hair, suck off.
Matt Doima
music
said Del
producers.
the Funky Homo Sapien did a fantastic track with Aesop Rock. Bad Man Trouble. Bad Man Trouble. There's another nickname for you. Ice Cube and Del are cousins. So yeah. Prop Me Up Against the Jukebox says, does Derek have the car that rewinds your VHS tape?
I actually used stupid and broke, and it was the worst day of my life. Because I was in the middle of rewinding Casper. Like
Christ,
the Christina Ricci Casper.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought you were watching old 70s cartoons. Get fucked.
No, yeah, the Christina Ricci Casper, and I fucking I was fucking just firing that thing up, you know, rewinding it, and I was holding the button down, and it just started making that like fucking battery acid smell because the fucking thing ran on like big ass D batteries, and I flipped the bitch over and it was just leaking in there, and I fucking popped the batteries out quick, and I went to try to swap them with ones from like a Maglite flashlight, and when I put them in, the fucker was toast. It was done.
That's crazy. Mikey
Never
Two
got my
Milks wants
copy
to
of
know what the
Casper
fuck
back.
is the bulge in his pocket. Does he have a hoagie in there? Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird picture for sure.
Is it a picture of me?
Yeah, I always go through the Facebook and just pick a picture. I picked the one where you're on stage at Sisyphus. It's like a black and white one. It was one of your profile pics.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
And,
probably
like-
my cell phone or my
I don't know, man.
wallet,
It looks like a
maybe?
fucking hat, but you're wearing your hat. It literally looks like you're killing a kitten.
I'm smothering an owl.
Yeah, that's right. That's my crotch owl.
That's my shtick. Is I
Prop me up
smother an
against the
owl with my
jukebox
cock.
says R.I.P. race car rewinder.
I thought he was gonna say R.I.P. race card for some reason.
Badman Trouble says sickest way to avoid 50 cent fee at Blockbuster was the rewinding car.
It really was, honestly. You weren't cool unless you had a rewinding car or like one of those accessories that's like life support for your DMG Game Boy that puts like a magnifying glass and a fucking headlamp on it and shit.
Prop me up beside the jukebox is mad because I always say against. He gets mad about that. He's now yelling at
Yeah,
me because I
against
never
is
say
a-
his name correctly.
Against is a little more forceful.
Right, but it also implies that you're super drunk, which is the only time I would want anybody to prop me up by a jukebox.
What the fuck? Dude, I'm in my garage and I just found a Nintendo Game Boy fanny pack. What the
If you were
fuck? Where's that?
if you were any other person, that would surprise me. But I know you. That's not surprising.
Holy shit, dude, this has the hip battery charger on it. Like the fucking thing you plug into the wall and it plugs into the side of your Game Boy and then you fucking wear it on
Why
your
are you
belt.
Why are you
and it
going through
charges
your
that bitch on the
garage while
go.
doing a huge interview?
Dude, I just found my Game Boy too. Literally what I was just talking about. That's the scariest, most serendipitous shit. I just fucking Beetlejuiced this Game Boy into my garage.
Don't say it again. You get one.
Oh, dude, this is crazy. I'm gonna send you a fucking picture of this afterward. That's fucking
Send it
nuts.
right now. I'll put it up.
Okay, hold on. I gotta make sure it doesn't end the call if I try to send you a picture. Am I still talking? Can you hear me still?
Nope. You disconnected. You're gone.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, there. I just sent you the picture. That fucking blew
Okay,
my
here,
mind.
hold on. We will. I'm gonna actually put this up for the viewers because they're laughing at your.
I'm gonna rock the living shit out of this fucking fanny pack when I come back on stage, dude. Holy
Dude,
shit.
I'm so glad you took this call so I could tell you you're 86 from Sisyphus.
What if I wear my up-down fanny pack? Can I get some hometown?
No, man,
cred
I'm
and be
a
back?
tilt guy. Get fucked.
Oh shit! And I still, before all this happened, I never got to go to Northeast Arcade either, and now I probably never will.
It's closed. They closed it.
Yeah, of course they did.
Yeah.
Son of a
Here is the
bitch.
picture of his fanny pack. I didn't even know they made Game Boy fanny packs.
Neither did I. I'm like, why this had to have been my dad's from Desert Storm.
Well, yeah, because when people go to Desert Storm, they're like, here, have a Game Boy fanny pack.
Yeah, it's part of the standard issue. They're like, here's your bayonet and your fanny pack.
If you find a
with
camel
a
spider,
Game
just
Boy
throw it. If
inside.
you find a camel spider, just throw it in the fanny pack, put it up to the charger, you'll be fine.
Sure. We'll give you a link cable. You just challenge it to some Pokemon Red version. All right.
Crack
You're gonna have
Babies
to know the
89
type
says one
advantages.
store actually put Be Kind Rewind stickers on their DVDs when they first got them.
Look, man, we don't understand the technology yet. Just don't spoil the movie for anyone.
Med City Madman says, "This is my Game Boy. There are many like it, but this one's mine."
Man, that's I'm still like reeling, honestly. That blew my mind. Does it still have batteries in it? Okay, good, it doesn't, so it's not gonna be ruined like my fucking tape rewinder was. Man, now I'm
So what?
now
So
I'm
what
just thinking
game?
about
What
stuff
game?
that
What game are
broke.
you gonna bust out first on that motherfucker?
Oh shit. Dude, I got Gargoyles Quest 2.
You want a hot take that
For
I
my
think you'll
Game
like
Boy.
as a video game guy?
Uh-uh.
Mario Land 2, one of the more underrated Mario games ever.
Phenomenal fucking game.
Phenomenal
All of
game.
the Mario
and
Land games.
And Mario, well, the first one was just okay, but I blame mostly just the format and them fucking around. But that
Yeah, I
second
was
one,
gonna
which was
say-
the first appearance of Wario, you got the little bunny flop ears. That was one of the best Mario games of their entire run, and that's saying a lot.
God, yes. And I just like fucking Wario. I meant to say all of the Wario Land games are phenomenal because there's they did a sort of like a spiritual successor to them on the GameCube at one point called
Sure.
Wario World. That's a three-dimensional.
See, I don't really. Those
almost,
ones were weird for me. I always liked. I liked WarioWare, but I never liked the Wario World games. I like the Mario Land.
Dude, the
games.
WarioWare games slap. Those are so fun. It's just super fun to play with your friends when
That
you're
original,
wasted. Just
that
pass
original
around
like
a Wiimote.
WarioWare for I think it was the first DS. That was like one of the best portable games ever because you could just pick it up, play it for 2 minutes, and set it down.
Yeah, it was like sort of a little bit of a bridge between mobile gaming going from actual handheld devices that we bought to like our cell phones.
Yeah.
Because it just was like, yeah, little mini, time killer games that you could drop in and out of like that.
Badman Trouble said I brought a PSP to Iraq. LOL.
There was a
Mikey says
A
a
game-
video game guy, huh? What say he about Farm Sim? So Mikey only plays Farm Simulator. It's like his thing.
like the actual like farming simulator 2K whatever year.
Yeah.
Those those games are so fucking expensive. They're always as expensive as a AAA game, and they look like something I could play for free on Facebook. So I don't understand the appeal.
Dude, Mikey plays it all the time. That's all he fucking does.
I feel like it's
I
something
guarantee
that, like,
you that
'cause-
dude has had more than 20 sexual encounters while Farm Sim was on.
like just on in the background, he set his controller aside.
Hey, honey, you better make this quick. I got to load up on harvest supplies.
My turnips are gonna spoil.
Mikey says, shut your whore mouth, Derek.
Play a real farming game like a man, like Stardew Valley.
Freaky Deaky says, I bet you could suck a Game Boy through a garden hose.
If I could find a garden hose in this mess, we could really figure that out. We could test the hypothesis.
Mikey Two Milk says, I'm gonna fucking come unglued.
I'm gonna play my cube of unglued. Actually, I have a cube of unstable that I've never played, and I'm very frustrated about it.
Matt Doima says, nothing turns me on more than soy futures.
Soy futures. I had a theory recently that the Diet Coke and Mentos thing was invented so that they could just increase the sales of diet soda, because you can do that shit with regular soda, and they just wanted everyone to look like a soy boy buying Diet Coke. Don't let them trick you.
Yeah. I feel like you're really dispensing some world knowledge right now.
That's my stance.
Okay. How are you holding up in the quarantine? Because, man, your Facebook is sure uplifting and bothersome.
I was going to say, if my previous statement wasn't enough to know that my mental capacity and faculties are at an all-time low, then
that's
I can
scary.
just say firmly,
that's scary for you, because you're a low guy anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already like a pretty depressive fella. I mean, a lot of people check in on me.
You know, you're skinny enough to where you could drink regular soda, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's all I want.
But
so what have you just been like quarantining? Like, what have you been doing during all this?
dude, I've been playing endless Animal Crossing, and it's like a problem. Definite problem. I've been podcasting a little bit too, because we started a podcast like right before quarantine, me and a couple of dudes I used to do sketch comedy with. So a little bit of like remote podcasting. James Thompson and I also actually started a podcast. So basically just trying to stay sane.
What do you call that podcast? The fucking Sunshine Group?
Yeah, the happiest fellas you ever met.
Happy podcast ever.
It's called actually Narcotics Not So Anonymous. It's very like centralized around drug use, and mainly James's former drug use, and then a little bit about my drug history.
Okay. What's your drug history?
It's more of James's. Oh, I did a lot. I do the pots. I smoke a lot of that weed. I was like really, really into painkillers after my car accident. I think you know about my car accident. I was like,
well, tell everybody whatever you're willing to tell them here, because I don't want to like delve into something that's too deep, but I also suspect you don't care.
Oh, I don't give a rat's ass about anything at all. No, man. So, 2013, I got T-boned by a semi-truck, and I compound fractured my right femur, and my exit wound was like 3 millimeters from my femoral artery, and so I almost died from blood loss and shit. I got rushed to a hospital to HCMC downtown, and fucking had a rod installed in my leg, and then I was down for like 8 months. Which is
weird, because usually the rods get installed other places in your body. See what I did?
Yeah,
there?
more often than not, I get paid more for it. But I digress. So that was like eight months of just painful physical rehabilitation, and I got like addicted as fuck to painkillers, and I was like super into Percocet and morphine. And
I mean, of course, they're awesome.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah, they're really cool. It's like the closest you can be to being dead without actually being dead. I can still like watch the Oblongs and be a corpse.
I mean, I think like I've like tacked down where your depression is coming from, man. You're watching the Oblongs. You're excited about fanny packs. I mean, I can see two problem items right there.
I think those are two beacons of hope in my otherwise bleak world, Corey. I'm going to counteract that.
Badman Trouble says, well, I learned something new. Freaky Deaky said, farm sims are lame. Sorry, Mikey. And then Mikey Two Milk said, me and Freaky Deaky aren't talking, Corey. Will you tell him to shut his whore mouth too? They're getting lit in here. We literally started a civil war over farm sim. That's what we did.
Yeah, I started opening up about my personal life, and these people are like, hey, farm simulators are for people who suck dick.
Crack Babies 89 wants to know what's Derek drive? What do you drive? What's your car?
I drive a Saab or a 2006 Saab Aero. It's a piece of shit.
See, I just keep finding more layers to why you're depressed.
Yeah, dude, I have a shitty foreign car.
Yeah. It's not even a
It
good.
chugs
It's
like
not
a
even a good
motherfucker.
foreign
No.
car.
No, I just had $5,000, and they were like, "That's how much this car costs," and I was like, "What a coincidence!" And then I bought it,
Okay.
and
So
it was a regretty.
have you been keeping to isolation though? Have you been like hanging low?
Yeah, I haven't really been fucking with people. Like, I know people have been going to like little gatherings and shit, but like, no, I don't really fuck with people. People have like stopped by, and I've had bonfires outside with literally like one other person there, and I'm like, "Don't touch me," and I don't let them come inside. Which is normal.
Only on your
That was
chest.
yeah, that was my deal before quarantine. I was like, "Hey man, anywhere out here, but no coming inside, all right? And don't touch me."
Why do you hate people
Not on
coming
the
inside
list.
your house?
Gotta clean it up.
Oh, it's like
Come
an
come
image
leave
thing where you're
streaks
like
if you
it's
don't
too
clean it fast enough.
too disheveled to show people type shit.
Kinda. I don't know. Like my house is I just always have to tell people, "Oh, we're renovating," but we've been renovating since I was 10.
Yeah, like that's not renovating at that point. That's just like the process of cleaning, I guess.
No, I'm like, I just have a dilapidated house, you see. Most people have a floor, we sleep on dirt.
Now they're talking to each other. They're talking more shit. Freaky Deaky said, "I've got a garden, Mikey. If you want to try real work for once, give you a
That
real taste
almost-
of farming."
That almost sounded like an endorsement of slavery.
Yeah, it did kind of. Yeah, wow. Freaky Deaky, are you trying to get Mikey to be your slave? Because I don't think that's cool.
It's heating up in those comments.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, it's getting in. We got a new fucking follower. That's cool.
Ooh. Hey, does he have a
Muskrat?
stream name? that's neat?
Muskrat?
Muskrat? Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's I know him. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but I know that guy.
Oh yeah, is that a known person?
No, yeah, that is a known man. I've known that guy for a long time. That's a good friend of mine.
Is it a comic or no? Just somebody that I got you. Somebody that you knew.
I think he did stand up like one time with
Okay.
me, like just because I think I like kind of goaded him into doing it. But no, he doesn't like generally do comedy. He's funny though. I mean, I don't really fuck with people who aren't funny because if you don't make me laugh, you probably kind of suck.
Is that true?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I haven't really like there's not a lot of people I know who don't make me laugh where I'm also like, that guy's cool.
Muskrat said, "I had a pee joke that no one laughed at."
I laugh at PP jokes because I have the brain of a 12-year-old, so
Simmer the
I'm on
Sauce
board.
said,
I
"In
probably
case you
laughed.
didn't know it, I'm a chronic math debater."
That's one of the better puns I've heard recently. That's uplifting.
Badman Trouble said, "I automated my garden's watering system so I can real farm and sim farm at the same time." That's a good
Still
tip,
farm
Mikey.
arguing.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna.
Now
This is what this chat room does. Is eventually they get bored in whatever interview I'm talking about, and then they either turn on me, the guest, or each other. And we're
He hasn't
witnessing.
found another
We're
fanny
witnessing
pack
the.
yet.
We're witnessing the turn on each other.
Okay, I mean, at least my fragile ego isn't going to be shattered by people on the internet who I will never meet insulting me.
Well, I'll make sure you meet them so it shatters you.
Okay, sweet. Hey, I just wanted to tell you to your face, you're awful. Fuck you and your fanny pack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't know the fanny pack was involved, but now I stand by it.
They're going to come in my fanny pack.
The main mom says, "Anybody ever seen Duck Dick?" Yeah, like
Duck
it's all
Dick?
corkscrew and weird.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up, man. Duck dick. A woohoo.
Muskrat says, "What's wrong with my fanny pack?"
Oh, he wasn't here, man. I found a Nintendo Game Boy fanny pack in my garage with a fucking pristine Game Boy with a copy of Tetris. And a belt charger.
I
Shit's
mean,
crazy.
like, it's not even really saying much to say you found a Game Boy with Tetris. Like, I think you should specify when it doesn't have Tetris.
Honestly, you're right. Yeah, that would be something more of merit. Like, yeah, I found a Game Boy and it didn't have a copy of Tetris in it. I'm a little alarmed. I don't think it
Also,
works.
crazy how good that original Game Boy was as far as a generation. I mean, like, that thing mopped the floor with everything for years.
Fuck yeah, dude! It had so much longevity, about like same lifespan I think as the PS2, maybe a little shorter or long. I'm not sure if shorter or longer actually, because PS2 had a 14-year lifespan. Fucker came out in 2000 in North America, didn't stop publishing games until like some fucking soccer game in 2014. So
The mean
pretty
mom
wild.
says most birds don't have dicks, but ducks do.
Damn. You ever notice how Disney cornered the market on duck content?
That's not true.
Well,
What about
Howard
Duckula?
the Duck?
What about Duckula? Duckman? Howard the Duck?
I haven't. Howard the Duck was all that I could come up with. What the fuck is Duckula? That's news
You ever
to
seen
me.
Duckula?
No, that sounds right up my alley, though. Holy shit.
Duckula's like a really old like cartoon that I think was on Nickelodeon maybe, and it was like early 90s, late 80s probably.
Okay.
And it's exactly what you want it to be. Oh, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I misled you. It was called Count Duckula.
Okay, I was gonna say, if they didn't add the count there, he's not a proper Duckula.
I mean, they added it. He had like a really cool theme song too.
Even better, dude, because like if you're a horror icon and your music isn't either like dope as fuck or like
Here's what I'm gonna do. All right, no.
completely
Here's what I'm gonna do.
terrifying,
Okay,
it's
you
not
ready
worth
for
it.
this? You ready? I'm going to send you a link on Facebook. Okay, because you can't hear the way that this is wired. You can't hear the sound. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send you a link, and then you watch it right away, right?
Okay.
And I'll just click start. We'll start at the same time, but I'll play it for people on here too.
Okay.
So just we'll synchronize our watches, as it were, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Tell me when to press play.
You got that? Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Oh, I got an ad for Audible.com.
Yeah, I already fast
I don't
forwarded
want
through.
J.K. Rowling's transphobic books.
You just want her homophobic books. Got it.
Exactly. Just the Sorcerer's Stone, the most
Yes.
homophobic of the Harry Potter
So actually,
novels.
that book was originally called The Sorcerer's Stones, but then kept whipping his dick out. They had to rename
The Sorcerer's Stone's
Yeah.
a man for being a homosexual.
It was Harry.
the
It was
original
Harry
title of that book.
Pooter and the Sorcerer's Stones. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play. Gotta have the crazy
that,
80s like Thames thing in there, right?
Thames, is that Mike Tyson saying
No,
Sames?
but here you go.
Castle Dracula.
I'm surprised you don't know about this.
Many
It's actually made out
centuries
of
to
the
a
real house.
dreadful dynasty of vicious vampire ducks, the Counts of Dracula. Legend has it that these foul beings can be destroyed by a stake through the heart or exposure to sunlight. This does not suffice, however, for they may be brought back to life by means of a secret rite that can be performed once a century
Damn, look at that
when the
principle.
moon is in the eighth
Yeah, right.
house of Aquarius.
Blood.
Oh, you get it! The latest reincarnation did not run
Tomato
according to plan.
In the heart of Pennsylvania,
Yeah, we're ready
in the
for that, we're in.
Hall of Fame, yeah. There's not a vampire as any other. He won't bite, beast the man, 'cause he's a vegetarian.
Why does this go so hard?
And beast never runs
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the Thriller era. They had to go harder,
If you're
not
looking
all.
for some fun, you can always count upon the wild one they call.
Count Duckula.
That was incredible.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Don't say I never gave you anything.
I'm gonna have to fucking
Yeah.
torrent that entire series.
Yeah,
I mean, legally acquire it.
obtain it.
Yeah, I'm going to legally obtain a copy of Count Duckula and watch it.
I want to say there weren't many, right? Like
Probably not. That seems like a show that probably had like, I would say 13 episodes tops, and I'm talking like 11-minute segments.
damn. It says 4 series on here.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, with a theme song that good, you gotta keep it running, right? You know what had like, I feel like it had a short run, but if
It looks
didn't,
like it's like
I'll
the
be
British shit though, where like a series is just 3 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Because it
Yeah.
went from
So-
November 1968. Damn, it was older than I thought it was.
Damn.
And
That's yeah.
they had
that's
a
pretty
they had a
contemporary.
one called The Great Duck Detective. Oh, it's the same company that made Danger Mouse. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that did those guys make biker mice from Mars, or that just like
No,
a
that
false
was the
memory?
Sewer Shark people, I think.
Okay.
I
Or
think. I
wait,
don't
Sewer
know.
Shark or Street Sharks?
Street Sharks. Sewer
Yeah,
Shark
the,
was
like,
a
Ninja
Sega
Turtles
CD
ripoff.
game that I really liked.
Sega CD had some really fucking
Dude,
great
Sewer
titles.
Shark was
Sonic
amazing.
CD.
It was like the first game that came out, and it fucking it was like a live action. It was like Dragon's Lair, but on a lower budget.
There's an Echo the Dolphin game for the Sega CD that's harder than fucking
Dude,
nails.
all those fucking Echo games, man. Like, the only one that's easy is Echo Junior, and that one's still kind of hard.
That game's like for preschoolers, and it's harder than shit.
Med City Madman says, remember that episode of Duckula killed all those prostitutes? He knew no one would miss. We all learned something that day.
Remember when Duckula fed on all of those women of the night for sustenance? That was a real knee slapper.
Freaky Deaky said, did you hear the creator of Tom and Jerry passed away not too long ago? I don't know, probably. That show's old as fuck. I would like. I'm
surprised
sure if
that
I
he was
read
still
that,
alive.
I'm sure if I read that, I'd be more surprised he was still alive.
Yeah, holy fuck. I'd be like, when was this article from? 2010?
Yeah.
Fuck, probably earlier than that. I thought that dude was dead when I was watching Tom and Jerry as a kid. That shit was in like the 50s.
Mikey said, sorry, I was in the kitchen getting another juice box. Can you start the interview over?
So anyways, I found
Freaky
this
Deaky,
fanny
hold on. We're
pack.
not done, man. They're going after each other. Freaky Deaky said, sure, Mikey. We were discussing how farm sim are bad for one's health. This is gonna end in a grudge match here.
I was taking a shot, but he's right.
I was taking a shot, man, but you know what? Fucking yeah, that's right.
I was taking a shot in the mouth.
Yeah, not the first time you've done that. Guys got to pay rent.
Nope, no one's coming inside. I'm
Attaboy.
spitting.
Attaboy. Yeah, that's right. No one's coming inside. You can come inside, but you're not allowed to stay inside. Hawk too.
Not in this dojo.
That's right. Is that what you call your butthole?
I call my mouth, 'cause that's where I do the training.
Oh, I just thought you called your asshole the dojo because it always gets a workout.
Call it the Tojo, because it always gets bombed.
Ooh, now I want to play Toe Jam and Earl.
Dude, Toe Jam and Earl is the best fucking Sega game, period. No question.
Wow. That's I feel like you're really disrespecting Chalk and the Forever Man.
Shocking the Forever Man. I feel like you're not respecting Action 52 for the Sega
Oh,
Genesis
you need to
right
calm
now.
down and respect Green Dog, bro.
What are they saying now? Are they being unruly?
Well, Mikey says, I'm not in a confrontational mood today.
Oh, well, that's good.
Matt Doima said Altered Beasts. It's just Altered Beast.
Altered Beast is a phenomenal, or I almost said show. Great game.
It feels like it should have been a
Good-
show, though. That's
good
a
graphics.
game where it feels like they should have had a cartoon based on it.
It definitely probably would have done well. I mean, if they could have fucking Captain N, then they could have had an Altered Beast show.
Oh, Mikey. So Mikey put that, I'm not really in a confrontational mood, right? And then Freaky Deaky goes, yeah, me neither. I'm tired from farm chores. Maybe another time, Mikey. And then Mikey said, rain check.
This farming rivalry is insane.
Yeah, we got a lot of crop turf going on. You've heard of crop
Are you
dusting.
required
This is
to-
crop turfing.
Are you required to use Monsanto seeds in farming simulator games? Does it really simulate the experience of a stranglehold from a corporation?
I mean, it probably should, right? The
I
main
wanna have a
bomb sent me a
Mexican
link
farming
about Agatha
simulator.
Christie's Great Detectives. Puritan
They should
Marble?
make an
What-
avocado farming simulator where a drug cartel kills your family so that they can have 75% of your farm's profits.
They do. It's called Mosquito Simulator.
There's actually a mosquito game for the PS2 called Mr. Mosquito.
Oh yeah, I still have
Where-
that. Don't come at me, buddy.
You
Don't come at
do?
me. Yeah.
That game's so
I
good.
also, yeah,
Oh
dude.
my God.
If it's awesome and it was on PS2, I have it still, unless it got robbed from me. I mean, I've got like, I worked at a video game store for many years, and I knew the ones to grab. My
Fuck,
Mr.
do you have,
Mosquito is sitting on a pile next to my Kataru Man.
Do you have oh, Guitar Hero Man's great. Do you have Kuon?
I've played Kuon, but I do not have it.
That game's like $300 now, dude. It's just
Yeah.
kicking me in the
Well, I
sack.
had somebody
had
rob
an
my
opportunity-
PlayStation, my Sega Saturn games, and they got my Panzer Dragoon Saga, and like I almost openly wept. It's like
That ain't right.
that game's like super rare, and it's like $500. But more importantly, it was like I got it at a KB Toy Stores for $10 in the clearance rack. Like I'm never buying that again.
No, hell no. That's like, yeah, that doesn't happen.
Like when they were done with Saturn, right before KB Toy Stores went out of business at Ridgedale, they liquidated all their Saturn stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then I went in and I bought. I mean, I got the Bomberman with the fucking controllers and the 6-person splitter. I got
Oh god.
the Shining Force. I got one of the absolute best RPG games I've ever played in my life, Albert Odyssey.
Okay, I've heard of that game. But I've never
Man,
played it.
if you like Final Fantasy, it's like Final Fantasy. It's like everything Final Fantasy was doing right at the time, mixed with everything Shining Force was doing right at the time in one game. It's amazing. I don't know.
I love
I
Shining
haven't played
Force.
it in a while, but I did go back like 10 years ago and beat it. It was still pretty awesome.
Fuck yeah! Did they get your Saturn Bomberman?
No, they didn't get my Bomberman, but like they got my
That's good at least.
they got like my Burning Rangers and shit. They got like a lot of my weird shit.
Do you have your Sega CD X still?
Yes, that's the thing that was so
Okay.
funny. I'll tell you the funniest story, right? And this is gonna bore the shit out of our listeners, but I don't care, right? Like they literally stole my Magic the Gathering cards, right? Like my rare box, right? They went
Yeah,
through,
I heard about this
They
one.
went through my fucking like legacy box. They went through all my cards, right? They were literally inches away from my Type 1 deck and didn't take it. Like,
Oh
and I feel like it's because my
God.
Type 1 deck, like, it's in a case where it looks like it's trash. I mean, not anymore. Now it's in a safe. But, like, it was in this, like,
Yeah.
rundown case that it's always been in. So they're, like, scoring big with these rares and, like, all this other shit. But, like, had they grabbed that box, that's, like, 30 grand probably.
Yeah, no shit,
I mean,
man.
it's Black
Oh, my
Lotus. It's all
Lord.
the Moxes except for Pearl. It's got, like, just a bunch of fucking old alpha and beta cards in it.
Yeah, and that's just ridiculous prices just because it's alpha and beta. Fuck, like I think like alpha bolts are still probably like $500 for a good condition one.
Freaky Deaky said, I've been collecting SNES games lately. Just bought Wild Guns for $115. That's a great game. I like Wild Guns.
That's a super good game. I haven't checked the price charting on that recently, but like that sounds like a pretty decent price. I had to sell a few of my games like back in like 2016 when I moved back from Minneapolis to Champlin because I just like I didn't have any fucking money. I didn't have a job.
That
And,
collection
so, like,
you
I used
had
to
in
have, like,
Northeast was impressive.
Yeah, I had like Earthbound and Chrono Trigger and shit like that I sold off, but I have like the definitive Chrono Trigger cut for DS, and I'm not really super fucking dick hard about having the physical Chrono on SNES. I just don't care that much. But Earthbound really hurt. Like, but that shit, I sold it when it was like at like its apex price point though, so I don't feel too bad about it. And I have like the fucking virtual console version on the Wii U, so I mean I can play it. It's just I don't have the physical copy anymore, so I can't be big
Freaky
dick
Deaky said
collector
the average
man.
price was $150 for Wild Guns.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So yeah, you got a good deal for sure.
Batman Trouble says, what the fuck is Type 1 deck? It would be vintage to all you new players. It used to be Type 1 and Type 2, but yeah. Vintage. I just keep calling it Type 1, but yeah, it's vintage. It means all the old good cards, Jesse. That's what it means.
Yeah, it's like singleton good stuff basically.
Yeah.
I was checking prices on PS2 games today and like GameCube games that I have. My copy of Def Jam Fight for New York is like $110 now.
Who the fuck is spending over $100 for the Def Jam game?
Hype beasts, man. People who want Ice-T to call you, your father, and your mother punk bitches.
Right, but like aside from the audio clips, it's not that good of a game. I mean, it's okay. It's not
No,
bad, but
it
it's
doesn't
not
play
good.
that great.
Right.
It doesn't play super great. Like it definitely shows its age. But at the time, I remember having a fucking blast playing that game.
You know what else is funny is they went through my games, right? And they like they were right on top of them. Like it's so funny the stuff they got versus the shit that they took some of my Saturn games, right? Like they got Panzer Dragoon Saga, that's a good get, right? But on top of that, like it was sitting on top of a box that was N64 games that were the ones I just collected that were valuable. Like they could have had like they grabbed that box and that CDX and that's more than the games they got away with. You know, I mean, because I have like my N64 collection because I was working at a Game Crazy when that got discontinued. And so, like, every time some game came through that I knew, I just grabbed it. And it's like, you know, like Mario RPG, Paper Mario, like all that shit.
Oh, yeah, you're fucking like Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 shit.
Right. Like it's just the Nintendo box.
Okay, straight up. Yeah, so then, yeah, they probably missed what? Like, do you have, like, some of the weirder 64 games, like Carmageddon and
I
shit
do
like
have
that?
I don't have Carmageddon, but I do have a bunch of the weird ones.
Like, Bomberman, the Second
Yep, I have
Attack.
Bioman. I also have that what is that, Bioharvest or whatever that renderware game
Oh,
made?
yeah, I think it's or like Bio Freaks or something like that. Or Body
Body
Harvest,
Harvest,
right?
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Bio Freaks is another game for the N64, but that's more of like a common title, like probably less than $10 for that one loose. But do you have Sculptor's Cut, Clay Fighter?
I don't. I have the regular Clay Fighter, not the Sculptor.
Yeah, same here. Sculptor's Cut's like my most sought after game, and people always gave me shit from childhood up till now that I love 63 and a third. Like, one, because it's a Naked Gun reference, and like that's fucking great. It was taking the piss out of how every fucking game had the naming convention of something 64, and it's like, what a fucking innovative title. Um, but I want it so bad because it's got characters you can't fucking play
Yeah.
as.
Well, and I mean, I got, like I said, I got all the Zelda games for it. I got like GoldenEye. I got Conker's Bad Fur Day, which like is I constantly surprised at how that keeps gaining value.
Yeah, it'll fluctuate where like sometimes it'll just like plummet down to like 60, but then it climbs right back up to 100 like a few weeks later.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Pisses me off that I have both like Live and Reloaded and the N64 version, but why the fuck did they add additional censorship to Live and Reloaded when it should have just been
The main mom says I have Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
That is what it's called.
Is it really?
Yeah, legit. That's what I was saying. That's because they were making fun of the naming convention of like every game being
so
called
great.
something 64 because it was like Naked Gun 33 and a third.
I thought you were making that up.
No, dead ass. Like I'm dead fucking serious. They totally have it. It's Clay Fighter 63 and a third.
Yeah.
Are you
Mikey,
checking? Are
no,
you
I'm looking at the comments. Mikey Two Milk says, "Are you telling the card story? The rest of it's really good too. The pitcher of water. Fuck you. That breaks my heart, man.
That hurted me bad.
Almost had Super Mario RPG for $90. Box
I
and
mean,
everything.
it's
I think
gone down
having the
now.
box is like
Box
the
and
thing.
everything.
But yeah.
That's
Who the fuck has
really
boxes?
cool.
Here's the thing. I don't have boxes for any of my shit. I bought a couple of boxes because every now and again you find them on eBay, just the box.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But my main value is all my Sega side stuff because I still have my Master System. I still have my Dreamcast. I've got like my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PlayStation 2 is worth a shitload for some reason.
It's like for me. Oh, sorry. What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I says for me, it's my Super Nintendo and like my PlayStation stuff that's really crazy. I've got just weird hidden gems and for NES too.
My
I've got,
PS1 is pretty valuable too, I guess, because like I do have like Symphony of the Night. I have Final Fantasy VII, the original. I got a bunch of fucking like crazy shit.
I've got
Wild
like,
Arms. I have Wild Arms on PlayStation 1.
I love Wild Arms. That game is too fun.
Did you ever play Samurai Western for the PS2?
No, but I just ordered Way of the Samurai for the PS2.
Okay. Samurai Western's awesome. And then I was big on Atlas games back in the day, so I collected all of those.
That's smarter than hell because all of those climbed like crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, I have the original Disgaea. I have the original Xenosaga.
Yeah, like Dokapon Kingdom. I think that was Atlas
I do have
also.
Dokapon Kingdom. My favorite one that they ever made was called Cubivore.
Oh, that is all. That's like a second to Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut in my echelon of games that I want that are just too expensive for me to fucking shell out for at like retail value.
How much is Cubivore now?
Cubivore is like $275 complete.
Shut the fuck up.
Dead ass, like it really is. And I had an opportunity to get it for like $120 complete.
I got that game for $7 with a discount at Game Crazy.
That makes me want to throw up.
Well, I was really like I got so
up.
big into video games when I was at the store that I actually like just went through. And again, anytime a game came in that I knew was good, I'd be like, oh yeah, like, oh yeah, I will take this Super Metroid. Here's $3. That's going in my employee hold bin.
Dude, my buddy Jake Spanier, who's in this band Redshift, check him out. He he found Super Metroid in a fucking foreclosed house because his father, I don't know if he still does it, but he used to clean out foreclosed houses as his job. And there was a house that was just like filled with like pizza boxes full of human shit. And amongst all of this disgusting human fucking waste, there was just a pristine, crisp copy of Super Metroid.
Well, it's important to have your priorities, you know?
Yeah, so
How
this
pissed do you think
this
that person was when they realized they left their Metroid?
yeah, dude, he's running home. He's got like a SNES Mini under his arms and some controllers and shit. He's going to his other buddy's place to squat, and he's like, "Oh fuck! I grabbed one of the boot boxes, not the Metroid box."
They should have called that console Sninnyman.
Fucking, you know what's a really great game for the Super Nintendo that's overlooked as fuck, and people disagree with me that it's a good game, is Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City. That game is so fucking good.
No, it's not.
It's like a platformer. Yes, it fucking is, dude. Platformer where you kill basketball zombies with basketballs that are on fire.
Get yourself some Shaq Fu while you're at it, you prick.
Yo, Shaq Fu is terrible. And that's the problem, is that people tie it in with Shaq Fu because they're like, oh, it's a fucking athlete tie-in game, whatever, it's garbage. That game fucking rocks, dude. I'll die on that hill, no problem. I fucking love that game. Shaq Fu sucks a dick.
Only, Derek. Die on that hill, you motherfucker.
If only I would die on this hill.
Yeah.
Please, God,
Garbage.
Strike me down on this Michael Jordan Chaos.
Why so depressed?
In the
You know, if you die, you can't play any more Jordan games.
That's true. If I die, I cannot ever actually finish Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City because I've never had the patience to. That game is longer than fucking Ishtar.
It's really interesting during that Genesis and Super Nintendo wave how long and hard to beat some of those games are. You know, you look at like games nowadays, even on Mario Maker and like Meat Boy, they still haven't managed to put in the pure frustration. Because like at some point with like Meat Boy or like Mario Maker, it's just hard to be hard. Like with like the like, because I remember like one of the hardest games I ever played was the fucking Strider game for Genesis. I got so fucking mad
Strider.
at that game. Oh, I love Strider first of all, but like that game is
it's so hard.
so fucking hard, and like you come from like a Ninja Gaiden thing where you're just like, oh, this is easy. Nope.
Oh, dude, shameful fucking admission here, but I've never finished Ninja Gaiden 1 on the NES. I get to the final boss every time and he just shit tosses me, and then I get sent back to like the fucking rooftop and I have to go do it all over again, and I just can't fucking finish.
Mikey Two Milk says, I have Grand Theft Auto 5 standard edition on digital download. It's gonna be a collector someday.
I'm gonna resell the digital download code on eBay for $6.
Mikey, I know that was a joke, but you know, true story. Like there are games like that. The people that make Dark Souls, that guy made it's like a Resident Hill or Silent Hill or something like that, and I forget which one it was. I think it was Silent Hill, but he made it, and it was so graphic and intense that they stopped carrying it, and it was only ever made as a demo, and it was free download for like a month. And there are literally, I think it was PS3, but there are consoles of that PS3 that have that game downloaded that are going for like $400 or $500 because that game's on there.
Yeah, you're talking about PT.
Yes, that's what it was, PT.
Yeah,
but it was going to be
Kojima.
what was it? Because it was going to be a Silent Hill.
It was a Silent Hill game.
Was it Silent Hill? Okay.
Hills. It was going to be called Silent Hills. It was like Guillermo del Toro was apparently supposed to be involved in some capacity. I don't remember what. Hideo Kojima was behind it, and Norman Reedus lent his likeness to the game. Like, that was the big reveal at the end of the game.
What the fuck is with him? Because, like, you know, you have Death Stranding. Like, that dude just doesn't give a fuck. Like, make video games of me, buddy. I don't care.
Yeah, and I guess, like, that Cyberpunk game is going to have Keanu Reeves in it.
Really?
Yeah, I think that that might just be some dumb shit I saw on the internet, or it could be true. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with that, honestly, but I think I saw some shit about that. Kevin Spacey's been in fucking video games as himself. And wasn't he in Call of Duty and shit? I'm pretty sure that was the thing.
I don't know,
man.
So what would you say is your favorite game overall? I know that's a loaded question to ask a game nerd, but like, what is there? Yeah. There has to be one, because I know my answer, but there has to be a game that you keep coming back to, even though you might not like on your head think it's your favorite. Like, there's just a game that you just get surprised by how often you play it.
I have a controversial answer for that question because a lot of people think that this game is shit, and I
If you
have
say
to-
that fucking Jordan game again, so help me God.
So, anyways, it's Michael Jordan's
Fuck
Chaos in the
you!
Windy City.
Hold on,
No.
hold on. I'm drowning you out with sound effects right now.
Air horns.
Yeah, oh no, literally air horns.
Apology accepted.
Am I audible again? Because I'll tell you the real answer.
Dork. What a dork.
All right, go
I
ahead.
feel like that's a no. Okay, but
No, I was
so
just I
my
was just
favorite-
slamming the fucking air horns because I hate you.
hilarious. But my favorite game, I would say, like if I get asked it and I'm not trying to think too hard, is Donkey Kong 64.
That's funny. Somebody actually put in there Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest.
That game's so fucking good. All the Donkey Kong Country games, all the Donkey Kong, I think it's Land games for the Game Boy. They're just anything with the Donkey Kong name attached to it is usually going to be very, very good. Fucking Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze was a super good spiritual
That game
successor to the
was
Donkey
really
Kong
good. The only
Country
one I
games.
hated was that fucking drum machine one.
Yo, are you talking about the one that's actually like Guitar Hero, or are you
Yeah,
talking
it's like
about
Donkey Kong Conga or some Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga? But have
Yeah.
you heard of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat?
No.
Dude, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. I've got this game complete in box, like it's like a wide box because it came with the bongo controllers. But it's a side-scrolling platformer where you use the bongos as the controller, and like you slam on the right bongo repeatedly to go right, slam on the left one to go left, hit them both to jump, and then you clap, and the microphone picks up the clapping to like grab shit, and you fucking like. You pounce on enemies and like fucking punch them by like punching the bongo.
Oh
and shit.
yeah,
It's
I have
exhilarating.
played that. It's weird. They're actually my favorite thing was there was a dude that was modding that and competing in Street Fighter tournaments.
Oh, fuck.
And there's also the guy that like just won it last year, won it with a steering wheel, and he's the first ever person to win it with a steering wheel. Even though I should make a disclaimer, who the fuck cares? Because he wasn't using the steering wheel, he was just using the gamepad within the steering wheel.
Yeah, so he wasn't actually using turn controls. He was using the buttons
It's
on
like
the
how
steering
people
wheel.
used to play the Power Glove. Like you're not actually playing the Power Glove. You're playing a console that you put or a fucking pad that you put on your wrist.
Yeah, if you're using the pad, then like fuck you. That
The
doesn't
main
count.
mom says DK64 was hot garbage.
Yep. See, everyone always is like, "No, the game's trash. Why can't they change colors
That's the
at
person.
will?
That's
I'm
the
a big
person that
fat
said. That's
baby."
the same person that said Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest.
See, a lot of people who really like Donkey Kong Country are super stuck in their way with Donkey Kong Country, and they're like, "Oh, I can't open my mind to a new perspective because I'm a toddler and I need my game spoon-fed to me." So I have no sympathy for that mentality.
You don't seem like a guy that's like got a lot of sympathy, anyways. If we're honest.
No, not really ever. But no, man, Donkey Kong 64, some of the best fucking music in any video game. One of the greatest, just straight up the greatest collectathon. I'd say it's better than Super Mario 64, and I'd fucking fist fight to prove that point.
For what?
I think it's better than Mario 64.
For what? Just the music or just the game?
Music, gameplay, and overall, like being a collectathon, a game where you explore different worlds to collect a bunch of items. Because like that was the main draw of
You know
the
what my
N64
favorite
was
one is, and this
collectathons.
is going to be really controversial, and people are going to like. You're probably going to get mad at me. Like people get so mad when I say this about like collect. Like my favorite collectathon Nintendo game was Mario Sunshine. I loved that
Dude,
game,
okay.
and people loved to shit on that game.
If it was like 2014, I would have been like, "Oh, you mean Super Mario clean up the mess?" But I'm not stupid anymore.
That thing
and I
aged.
understand
That thing
game's
aged
phenomenal.
crazy well, and the big thing about it was like graphically, it was so far ahead of anything else. It looked and felt like you were playing Toy Story. It was also the first 3D platformer that I remember feeling like the physics and everything felt like a 2D. Because the problem when games went 3D was like the physics would be different when you were going up and down or at an angle. See any Crash Bandicoot game for that, or any Sonic 3D. Like there's a crispness that the 2D had that 3D never used to have until Mario Sunshine. And after that, like, that was a very pivotal moment in games where everything going forward was like just fucking crazy. And that game got so disrespected by the fans, and that game aged so much better than, like, I would much rather play that than Mario 64. I just would. And people hate
It's
that, but
like
like
how,
Mario 64, people forget this about Mario 64. That game is pretty much unplayable at this point unless you're playing the DS revamp of it. Because, like,
the
it's
camera
slow
is
shit, it's
fucking
glitchy, and the
horrible.
camera will kill you every fucking time.
Yeah, dude, and like I bought this fucking there was these controllers that Hori made back when the Nintendo 64 was still on the market. The Hori mini pad, they were a Japanese exclusive controller, and it was a small sort of like almost GameCube style layout for the N64. So it was a redesign from that horrible obtuse fucking Trident design that they have, and it makes playing 3D platformers a fucking breeze, and I ordered a redesign of this controller from Retrobit. They still sell them. I don't remember what the fuck it's called, but if you just go on Retrobit, you can find them. But even that doesn't make it, like, perfect, and like doesn't make it feel the way that it did when I was younger, because it just shows its age. And another game that got a lot of shit for the way that it was stylistically was Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and I was one of the people who gave it shit because I was like, fuck this cartoony ass bullshit, I'm not playing this fucking little kid game, give me this fucking breakfast cereal crap, I want to play Twilight Princess like a big boy with my pubic hair. And fucking Twilight Princess honestly didn't age as well as the others.
That game,
rather
I'll even one up you on that. I didn't like that game when it came out. I thought that it was the most underwhelming of all of the Wii games because of, like, it didn't utilize the Wii controller like all the other first party stuff did. And that's where Nintendo, to me, really has always excelled. Like, I was always a Sega kid. I make no qualms about that. I liked Sega better than Nintendo. At this point in time, you can't say that that's the right decision because Nintendo obviously won. But that being said, like, the reason that Nintendo was able to keep themselves alive, even through what's arguably the biggest fucking tech mistake since Xerox gave Windows and iOS, like, the thing about it is that, like, that console, the N64, was supposed to be the PlayStation. People don't know that, but Nintendo developed the PlayStation. Its codename was the Dolphin, and at the last minute, they pulled the plug because they wanted to go cartridge-based. And all of the third parties fucking hated them. They had contracts that were fucking expiring because all the contracts at that time just said, if you don't do business with Sega, you can do it with us, but it said nothing about Sony. And Sony just picks it up. And then, like, what the N64 represents is some of the most hard lifting I have ever seen of a first-party company making first-party software. And they utilized the N64 controller in ways that nobody had ever seen. Also, the first dual analog controller. Nobody ever talks about that. But then, then you move over to the Wii, and the Wii just, like, you know, you have the GameCube, obviously. But then when you hit the Wii, everything was like this super interesting, like, you know, you had the boxing, you had the bowling, even the Mario game for the Wii was like using it a lot. And I just thought the Zelda one was super lazy about using it as a controller. And like, it got to the point where, I mean, that's why the Wii U sucked so bad, because the Wii U was like, it was like a half concept step between the Switch and the Wii. They couldn't make up their mind. And if Sega has taught us anything, it's when you tag a console with another letter and expect people to buy it, they won't. Like, look at the fucking 32X or the fucking Sega CD.
Yep, no one gave a rat's ass, man. It's just AVGN put it the best. Angry Video Game Nerd, when he said that it looks like it's on life support. That's what it was. It was fucking life support for a dying system that couldn't keep up with the competition. And it's just, the Wii U was something where, like, nobody would have complained at all if they were releasing games that came out on the Wii U on the Wii, or if they just waited until the fucking Switch came out. I really don't think anyone would have cared if the Wii's lifespan would have remained at, like, up until, like, when the Wii U was discontinued, like 2014. I don't think anyone would have given a shit, because, like, the Wii U was pretty much just like the Super Smash Brothers machine. That's what everybody bought it for. Not like, if you're telling me you didn't buy it for that, you're lying to me, or you bought it for Splatoon like a weirdo. But that game's great.
Yeah, I don't like Splatoon, but I understand why people do.
I'm
so
a big fan.
I don't like the
It's like,
controls. I hate the control schemes. Fuck you. You want to do a first-person
understand.
shooter? That's fine. Just make the control schemes easy. That's all.
It's an over-the-shoulder shooter, though.
I mean, yeah, but it's still like the fucking controls are infuriating, and once you get a hold of it, all they're doing is ruining you for almost any other game you pop into. Like, fucking go back and forth between Splatoon and Smash Brothers and see if that doesn't fuck you up, because it does.
Dude, I tried going back and forth between Splatoon and Counter-Strike, and I was just getting fucking bodied. But I
That's
was
what I'm
wrecking in Splatoon.
Right. Well, no, that's,
yeah,
that's what
you're,
I'm saying.
you're totally
like, it's just
right.
The control
It
scheme is
acclimates
fucking,
you completely
right,
incorrectly.
and they went out of their. It's one of those things where they went out of their way to make it a unique scheme that was counterintuitive, and I never. It's like the people that have to flip on fucking reverse controls on analogs. Like,
yeah,
get
the
fucked, dude.
tank controls.
Yeah, get fucked, dude.
Yeah, fuck you, loser.
Let's see. The main mom said Twilight Princess was a GameCube game ported to the Wii.
Yep.
Literally, no, it
I was
wasn't.
gonna bring
it was
that up.
developed. It was developed for the GameCube. Halfway through its development, it started getting developed as Wii because it was a Wii launch. It was a simultaneous release of a game that was developed for the Wii. Come at me, bitches.
They flipped it, I think is what he's referring to though, where it's mirrored on the Wii.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
that's
like
cool. Yeah, but like the whole thing
Yeah.
is like people will say it's a people will say that it's a GameCube game, but it wasn't. It started out as a GameCube game in development. Halfway through development, they started developing it for their new console, and it actually got released on both consoles at the same time.
I know it was developed as a GameCube game because I had a GameCube at like I didn't get a GameCube till like almost the Wii launch just because I'm fucking broke. I was way more excited for it to come out on the GameCube because yeah, I think you are right about simultaneous release. I can't remember because I wasn't subscribed to Nintendo Power anymore at that point, so I don't remember like a lot of like release dates anymore. Or like from like 2007 forward release dates, like I don't fucking have them in my head anymore. Pretty much when I stopped playing the mainline Pokemon series, like because like around like Ruby and Sapphire, I got the burnout, and I was like, I don't fucking care about these Pokemon anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I was like, you guys are jumping the fucking shark, man. Like even before Ice Cream Cone guy that everyone was so fucking pissed off about, I was getting pissed off about Gen 3 Pokemon. I was like, is that a fucking seed? I'm done.
Bradley138 says the Wii U was the biggest waste of my gaming dollars, worse than the fat Xbox One.
The big
whenever
like,
you have anything in the terms of the fat Xbox One, you're not doing a good job.
No. I think for what it's worth, the Wii U had a fucking incredible library of games, but almost every single one of them has been ported to the Switch. So my previous point of all of us waiting until the Switch come out to play these games, it didn't really hurt that much because
Audrey Lane, Minneapolis said, I like Super Mario 3D World on Wii U.
It is very good. That's a great game. Like all of the games that came out for the Wii U that were like main like first party Nintendo games were fucking great. And then
how is that new
Super
Mario Brothers U game? Because I saw it ported to Switch.
I think it's great. I love all of the Super Mario games. They're all phenomenal. If you haven't played Odyssey yet either, that game is
Odyssey's
so
great.
good.
I beat the fuck out of that. I told you about my whole like history with the Switch, right?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Oh no. So I bought a Switch almost. I think it was like the week it came out or the second week or whatever, right? And I ended up getting Zelda and Odyssey, right? And then I also got L.A. Noire because I hadn't played it yet. And then I bought Battle Chasers, which is one of my favorite RPGs ever.
Okay.
And based on a comic that I loved. And I literally beat the fuck out of Battle Chasers, Mario, and Zelda. And then I just sold the system because I was looking at the release date and it's like Smash Brothers wasn't coming out for a long time yet. And like I don't give a fuck about Animal Crossing. I don't really give a fuck about Pokemon games. You know what I mean? Like my whole thing is like the lineal like Mario game to the console because I will play any Mario. Like Mario is one of those things. Even as a Sega kid, Mario was something you're just like, oh shit! Like a new Mario game is a fucking event.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it means something. It's a cultural event. It's like a new Star Wars almost.
From time to time.
It sends reverberations throughout the world. He's such a recognizable character. He's fucking more recognizable than
What
Mickey
a
Mouse.
dork.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We didn't even get to my undercover favorite game ever.
Oh yeah.
Frequency for the PlayStation 2.
I've never even heard of that, and I'm a PS2 guy.
So okay, so it's a harmonics game, right?
Okay, that's probably why I haven't heard of it.
It's the very first game they ever made, right? And it's in a tube, and it plays like a rhythm syncing Tempest.
That's bizarre.
It's amazing, and it's like one of the hardest games you will ever play, and the replayability on it is crazy because it doesn't have any of the peripherals. It's just the controller, right? It's left shoulder, right bumper, and that's left middle
Hell
side.
yeah.
and you pick like they got decent songs. They got some shitty ones too, but you jump around, and it's one of the best games you'll ever play, and it just the replayability on it is through the fucking roof.
That's how my buddy plays DDR, just by controller, and he fucking shreds ass on that.
And the thing about it too is they created a synth pop band called Freeze Pop, which was in all the things. So Harmonix made Frequency, and then they made Amplitude, and Amplitude kind of sucks. Like Amplitude, they flattened out the tube and made it like a flat plane. So it's like more like Guitar Hero, how the notes are coming down. Like the timing and everything is very similar to Guitar Hero because it's the first game they ever made.
Where there's like a fret highway and shit.
Right, there's like a fret highway, right? But in Frequency, the highway was a tube of vectors like Tempest, right? And in order to keep the multiplier going, you had to link the jumps between the tracks, and each of the tracks is a different instrument. So you're going drums, guitar, bass as you jump through.
Okay, so it sounds like it almost. Have you heard of Hyperlight Drifter?
Yes.
Or excuse me, not Hyperlight Drifter.
Dreamweaver, Hyperweaver, or whatever it is.
Or yeah, or no, Audio Surf. What the fuck? Why did I say Hyperlight
Audio
Drifter?
Surf is a direct ripoff of Frequency.
I was gonna say it sounds like it's
the
exactly...
people that made it, literally, like at one point when they were developing it, said they wanted to make a Frequency where they could put their own music in.
Fair enough. I mean, some of my favorite games are honestly just like asset copies, or not asset copies, but like just like carbon copies of different games that.
I think franchise-wise, though, it's probably God of War. I think God of War is probably my favorite series.
Fair.
I mean, every game they keep reinventing what they're gonna do, and they keep. I mean, this last God of War was their best one, and that's crazy to think about.
With his son and shit.
Yeah, but just the axe, like they introduced a completely new mechanic that seamlessly ruled. You know. Also, anything by the Dark Souls guy, like From Software, is fucking dope.
Any From Software games, fucking. Did you ever play Lost Kingdoms?
Yes.
Fucking Lost Kingdoms is such a bizarre.
I have Lost Kingdoms 4 on the Sega Saturn.
Or I think we're thinking about two different games then. Lost Kingdoms was there was two games in the series. It was like I think they were GameCube exclusives.
Oh,
and it was like,
yeah, I'm not thinking. Hold on, let me
they
check.
Were,
Hold on.
Because like there's a fuckload of games with Kingdom in the title. So
yeah, but we're not.
But like it's like a card-based battle game, but you're in like a 3D space, like a 3D plane fighting. It's sort of an isometric view. It almost plays in a similar fashion to like Gauntlet, sort of, where the level structure is like go through the level, whoop ass on all the dudes, progress to the next level. But you get cards, and you have like a deck of cards that get shuffled, and you get a hand like laid out for you, and those are like spells and attacks that you can do on these waves of enemies and shit. And you can power up your deck and make new synergies and stuff based on card drops that get like dropped from enemies and from completing levels and getting certain ranks on levels and shit. They're really fucking dope. It was an early From Software
never
game.
mind. I'm thinking Romance of Three Kingdoms 4 Wall of Fire.
Okay, those super verbose JRPGs.
Yeah, those things are crazy. They're like Myst, but on crack.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's like, yeah, it's basically point and clicks on hallucinogenic drugs. Fucking, speaking of point and clicks on
Muskrat says Lost
drugs,
Kingdom precursor to Magic the Gathering MMO. Don't, and then he said, and they said, don't at me.
He's not wrong.
Mikey Two Milks just said Gwent, big Witcher 3 fan.
Oh yeah, I guess I haven't played
Dark
Gwent,
Souls
but
is
from
not.
what I've heard.
The main mom says Dark Souls is the best From game. No, it's not. The best From game is literally Sekiro, like the newest one they just put out, and the one before that was fucking Bloodborne. The top three is Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3. That's the order. Dark Souls 1, then Dark Souls 2.
You wouldn't put Demon Souls before Dark Souls 3?
No, I would not. I would put Demon Souls above 2 and probably 1.
Okay, because like that's where I would place it as well.
The thing about Dark Souls 3 that's so awesome is that it's a best of. It's Demon Souls, Dark Souls. It's a best of all of them and cleaned up in a way that's just amazing. And the interaction is great, you know? Whereas, again, Bloodborne is probably the best graphically. What?
I never finished it. I got distracted by Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City.
I fucking hate you.
No, I was gonna say though, honorable mention for a favorite game for me is definitely The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I can play that game endlessly.
Yeah,
and
you
then
were
like
you were
any
the one that was
Monster
telling me
Hunter.
about that. I downloaded that for free on PlayStation Network, and I've never played it.
Oh, it's so
Like
good.
I got it,
Oh, it's
and because
so
like
good.
you just download it and then it stays there. But I just like it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
hard. Like I don't know. I thought I was gonna do it one night when I was doing a bunch of drugs, but I just ended up getting super ripped and playing Octodad.
I mean, it's also a good game to play when you're really high. But no,
Have
dude,
you ever,
I
like,
think
dude,
you'd
I'm
really
telling you, like, if
fucking
you
love
ever
it.
get like some acid or some mushrooms, get yourself a copy of Octodad and go nuts.
I already have a copy of Octodad, so I just got to get some hallucinogenic drugs, and we're on the way.
Have you played that Goose game yet?
Fuck yeah, dude! I beat the living shit out of Untitled Goose Game. I love
God,
that.
that looks
game.
so awesome. I watched. I almost bought it, but I didn't. And then I was watching people play it on Twitch, and I was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah. It
Right now,
spoils
my
it when you see
entire
people
pandemic
figure
is
out
just
stuff.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, mine's been just Animal Crossing, and I'm about to transcend into the world of Doom Eternal, hopefully tonight.
Which is pretty. I got a bone to pick with you, which is pretty funny because I hit you up about Animal Crossing, and you said "fuck no," and then just sent me a picture of your thing playing Smash Brothers.
Wait, did you ask if I was on Animal
Yeah,
Crossing?
I asked if you were playing or on Animal Crossing because I wanted to see what you did, and you're like, "Fuck," and you even threw in like a noob or something. "Fuck you, noob. Play a real game," and then it was just a screenshot of your user account and playing Smash Brothers.
Was I drunk? I think
Probably.
No, I think I did that. So like, I think I was saying I don't play children's games as a joke, and then I sent you my friend code so that
That's
you'd
what it
add
was.
me
Yeah,
so
it's
we
like
could
I
play
don't
together, but
I
it
don't
just
play
didn't
children's
translate.
games. No. You're like, I don't play children's games, but then the next thing you sent me was literally a Smash Brothers thing.
I know. I was trying to be funny, and it must have just came off like I was just shitting on the game that I love so much.
Mikey
but yeah,
Tubuck
I've
says,
been
"You
playing
play
this
Animal
shit."
Crossing, but you poo-poo me for Farm Sim?" Next caller.
No, because I play a good farming game where you get to make friends instead of isolate yourself from them.
How many trips to Tom Nook do you think saved you from killing yourself?
Oh, so many. Good lord.
How's that?
That
Do you feel
guy-
like it's
dude-
weird? It's weird because like you've always kind of been a standalone dude, anyways. Like, do you find that this isolation is fucking with you more than you thought it would?
I think, yeah, because like, yeah, I'm definitely like a hermit, and so it's bizarre to me to like when I'm alone with my thoughts for seriously 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it starts to get weird in there. Like my Twitter, I'm surprised I haven't been like actually admitted to a mental institution for what I've been tweeting recently.
Well, and that's kind of what I was fucking with you about. You know what I mean? Like I was like, because I like I literally like every fucking time I see your fucking statuses on Facebook, like and to be fair, to your defense, they've been better as of late, but there was like a good week, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where it was like everything was like a sad bastard post. And that's when I put on your fucking Facebook, like, are you feeling okay? Everything's so uplifting on your Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh fuck, Corey's upset about my Facebook activity. This is bad.
That's right.
Fucking A.
We did
No,
a
I
little
don't know.
roundabout in this new era. The only way to troll somebody now is with affection.
Yeah, I do like sad. I get like sad white boy hours going when I get really drunk, and then I just like promptly delete all of it in the morning, and then I just apologize to the people who had to see it.
Now people are arguing whether or not Animal Crossing is a fucking kids game.
Oh man, it teaches you the dangers of becoming a scumbag landlord.
Freaky Deaky says, reason I don't own a Switch, it's mostly for games made for kids under 12. And then Muskrat said, okay, Karen.
What that translates to is reason I don't have a Switch. My friends aren't real.
No, I don't think that's a unfair criticism. I like, it's one of the reasons I never owned Nintendo product. Like, this is literally like when you get outside of the main vein of what Nintendo does, most times they're inferior consoles for playing hardcore games because they either have like dumbed down versions or they don't have the games you want. I mean, here's the thing, I will always buy Nintendo as a second console, but it will never be my first console of a generation ever.
That's totally fair. If you want to be on like the cutting edge playing the killer apps, Nintendo's not the way to go.
Right.
I'm just loyal to the franchises that Nintendo has as their first party exclusives, and the exclusivity is what keeps me coming back. It's definitely to a certain degree unfair business practices, which has been brought up since the fucking 80s with Nintendo doing shady shit with copyright protection or claiming copyright protection to do shady shit. But I'm not going to disagree that like they're not they're not leading the pack, but just it's seemingly the only major company that's still willing to do a little bit of innovation and not just make
I mean, you could argue that. I don't know. I don't think that's true anymore. I mean, look at Nintendo Switch. Nintendo's the only console that didn't have VR in the last 2 generations. Like they were on the hub. They were on the hub.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, they got that weird ass 3D that never really worked.
They
on
got
the
cardboard.
DS.
Yeah, they got the cardboard, man.
But that wasn't made by them. That was a third party thing that they bought the rights to. That had nothing to do with them, like research.
Oh, the Labo.
Yeah,
was that just like
Labo's its own company. Nintendo
it?
came in, and Muskrat says video games are made with kids in mind. No, they're not actually. Like yes, some are, and most Nintendo games are, but you can't tell me that God of War, they're sitting around like, all right, how do we get the kids involved in this? That's not what happens anymore. The demographic for people buying video games, 25 to 35, is outselling children demographics. That's why you only see Nintendo sticking around with the people modeling for kids. If kids were what the model was for making profit, you would see more games targeted at them. I mean, when's the last time you legitimately saw a game, not Nintendo, targeted directly at kids? It was like fucking Viva Pinata for Xbox.
And like Skylanders and the
that's also their demographic. That's what Nintendo does. That is part of the reason. Like, I'm on Freaky Deaky's side on this. That's why they will never be my first console, because as an adult video game player, they have nothing that will scratch the bloodlust that I want. Not Animal Crossing.
100%. But as a man child, me likey catch butterfly. So
sure. As another man child, me likey boobies and bloodletting.
Yeah, me like.
And guess what? Guess what?
Fuck.
Me have birthday on ID says me get that.
I just still love that there's like a fucking like a speed, or what the fuck do they call that? God damn it, my brain just shut off. I gotta stop drinking. Like a quick time events for like titty fucking in that game. Well, that's fucking amazing.
Dude, I would play a lot more Animal Crossing if they have quick time events for titty fuck.
Wait a minute.
If like that fucking weird ass dog that plays the guitar showed up with like a hot chick and I could just bang her, I'd play a lot more Animal Crossing.
If KK Slider brought groupies to fuck.
If Tom Nook had a fucking like hot wife that needed a pool boy or some shit, I would play a shitload of that.
A brothel.
Yeah.
I could build a brothel on Animal Crossing. Only let the sexy animals in. Now
here's what we're gonna do. You ready? You ready? You and I, from the ground up, right? We're gonna design our own game called Animal Trafficking. It's gonna be a realistic thing, and check it out. Tom Nook is not gonna like this because the first sex slaves on tap are his fucking kids.
This is already a oh, the Nooklings, Jimmy and Tom.
That's right. That's right. The
Oh
Nooklings.
no. Well, what was
We'll call the second game Good
Island.
Nooklings Swallow.
We could just make Epstein's Island on Animal Crossing. It is an island-based game now.
Sinister Mind says, look up Monique's character from Animal Crossing. She's definitely a stripper.
Yeah, did you ever have a cartoon character that you were sexually attracted to when you were younger?
Muskrat said, if video games weren't made for kids, then why did GTA teach me life skills? That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I don't like to be on your side, but that is a fair point.
Apology
It taught me how to
accepted.
get my money back from a prostitute.
Yeah. It taught me how to
Just
save a
got to
lot of
shoot her
money
in the
on a
face.
prostitute encounter.
Yep.
It also taught me that if I do enough weed, I get a lot of fucking sweet music.
And if I find a pill just floating outside, it'll make my vision wavy for 35 to 45 seconds.
Magic Cosmo says, is there an animal cross-dressing?
That's just my life.
The main mom said, I would bang pretty much any female cartoon character.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, we skirted around that question, but did you ever have like a female cartoon character that you were sexually attracted to when you were younger, or even older? I don't give a shit. I don't judge.
I mean, I don't know that like one Kim Basinger chick from Cool World, but I feel like that's a cop out answer.
Yeah, sort of her. And,
Jessica Rabbit's
like
a pretty big
Rabbit,
cop out
yeah.
answer. Like there was
Those
never,
are the yeah.
there was never like I don't know, like I was never really sexually attracted to animals. So the moment that
I
like
don't mean animals.
no,
I mean
I'm just saying
cartoon
like
characters.
so most of the cartoons I watched were like DuckTales and Rescue Rangers
Yeah,
and shit.
so
like
anthropomorphic animals,
right,
for sure.
Nobody like I wasn't like holy shit, look at the fucking hog on Monterey Jack. Fuck yeah, he can come around my zipper whenever he wants.
He never wore pants, you know.
Nobody wore pants.
He probably fucked him.
More like more like fuck tails. Am I right?
Fucking fucktails.
Woo.
That's funny as hell. I was shamefully attracted to Lola Bunny, and then I grew up and found out what furries were, and I was like, I'm not attracted to Lola Bunny.
Yeah, I think the whole community of furries also stopped me from researching that anymore.
Yeah, it's like once you find out that exists, you're like, yep, that ain't right. You know who else I really had it?
Muskrat said, "Bro, Space Jam created a wave of millennial furries."
Fuck yeah, it did, dude. Space Jam created more furries than Fern Gully did, and that probably did a lot of them.
Magic Cosmo said, "Road Rovers is why I'm a furry." I don't even know what that is. I gotta Google that.
That's fucking hilarious.
What is Road Rovers? Oh God,
dude,
I'm instantly
cartoons are why.
I'm instantly concerned about this man's well-being.
Corey's a furry now.
Yeah. Hey guys, I didn't know. You know what? I take it all back. It just took some Road Rovers. Here's
I was.
God, that is fucking ridiculous. I hate it.
I was attracted to. I think I got like attracted to goth girls because of cartoons and shit. Because like that fucking the girl on Danny Phantom.
No wonder you were so mad about that Casper VHS.
Honestly, man, I was like, I'm trying to watch this Christina Ricci film. Fuck. Yeah, dude, I always had it out for like weird girls when I was younger. I had like a thing for goth girls at a very young age. I don't know how that started. I was like, fuck, but yeah, like the girl, I think it was Sam Manson was the character on Danny Phantom. Fucking Daria's friend, like I thought she was hot. I just liked like man-hating women. I don't know. I was like, please step on my balls. Tell me I'm scum. Make fun of my Nintendo fanny pack.
I'm not trying to kink shame you, but that's fucking disgusting, bro.
I'm not trying to kink shame you, but I'm actively trying to kink shame.
Yeah, that was the joke.
That's the joke.
All right, well, hey, tell the people one more time where to get a hold of you. I got to cut you loose, but this was fun. You want to do this again?
Oh, hell yeah, man. This was great. Little bit of getting out of the old echo chamber, not thinking about the bullets in my gun. Fucking, but
hey, if you kill yourself, I'm not having you on again. Now you have something to live for.
That's true. Yeah, it just gave me something to believe in. But you can find me on Twitter at StolenVCR if you want to watch my mental downfall. You can find my sketches on YouTube. Lonely Space Vixens is what we're called.
I'll actually try to here. Hold on. What is that Lonely Space Vixen? I'll try to put the links in chat for you.
Lonely Space Vixens.
Is Space Vixen one word or two words?
Space Vixens, so it's 2 words. Lonely Space Vixens. And then
that's on YouTube,
at Stolen VCR. Yeah, and that's on YouTube. Lonely Space Vixens.
I don't know if this is right or not, but all I see is like Grandpa from Rugrats.
No, that's like where we got our name from. Was an episode of Rugrats.
There's a clip called this. Hold on, we're gonna play the clip of probably how you got your name.
And my personal favorite, Lonely Space Vixen.
That guy's such a wholesome kind of creepy.
Yeah, he really is. Here, I'm copying the link to our channel right now. I'll just send it to you.
Here we go.
Seems
yeah, that's you for sure, you fucking ugly weirdo.
Yeah.
Your fucking slick back hair. It's actually kind of cool because you were doing sketches before comedy, and now you're back to doing. Are you having fun with it? Like, do you feel like it's fulfilling you in ways that it didn't the first time around when you were making sketches?
I think so, because like we've been consistently doing it since I was literally 6 years old. I like stole a camera from my parents that they used to film like personal events and shit with, and I made like a parody of Mortal Kombat with my friends in the yard, and that was like where it took off. But I didn't get serious till like high school, and all my high school sketches pretty much like sucked a big dick. And then I went to college for film, and I dropped out, and I smoked a bunch of pot, and then wrote a bunch of dumb shit. And we had like a pilot episode for a series that we filmed that we tried to workshop around, and everyone was like basically fuck off. And yeah, when I started doing comedy, like stand up actively back in like fucking 2014 or 15, whenever I was like
Whoa,
first really
I am
active.
not following you on Twitter? What the fuck? I could be watching your downfall on another format?
Yeah, I'm saying a lot of people don't know I'm on Twitter because I wasn't active on there for a while.
Well, you
but
also aren't
I'm
like
back.
you've never been the best at promoting yourself. It's something that I
No.
respect because I'm really bad at it too. Like it's like I was always taught you do your best and you let the job speak for itself.
Yeah, I kind of like I try to do that, but then I just do a half-ass job and then don't promote myself well and get insulted for not having my name in my Twitter handle.
Mikey
So,
Two Melks wants
basically.
you to know that Farm Sim 19 is free for PlayStation Plus users.
Damn, I'm actually probably gonna get PlayStation Plus now, so that is it multiplayer? Can you play that with like your friends online?
I don't know. Probably.
Because if it is, I'm gonna have to get my buddy on that. Because my friend has always wanted to play those games, but they're like $60 fucking if you want to buy them. Like I'm not paying $60 fucking to drive a John Deere in a PS4 game.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's 20.
Exactly. That's when I will drive a VR John Deere tractor.
Attaboy. That's what I like about you. You have realistic expectations. You're not saying no. You're just saying they got to put it in your price range. I think we can all relate to that.
Exactly, man. I'm saying like I would definitely play this game, but that is a ludicrous price point. Because I'm obviously into farming games. I brought up Stardew Valley and I play a lot of Animal Crossing. I like me some farming.
What do you like
games.
better, Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing?
Fuck. I think in terms of like being able to continue playing it over and over and over again, probably Stardew Valley because
See,
Animal Crossing is really
I'm the
cute.
exact opposite. I like Animal Crossing more because it's more base, and like when I just want mindless continuation like that, it's fine. Same
feel like
thing.
I'm-
Actually, same thing with the game Skate. That's why I like the game Skate.
Over Tony Hawk.
Yeah, because I could just like the very first it's like the first and second one. I didn't play them after that, but like the first two, you literally would just do tricks as you were going around these courses, and it didn't really matter. Nothing mattered. You were just fucking skating, and I like that. I like open world games where you're not really sure what you're supposed to do. You know,
I feel that.
like fucking like escape room ones or whatever, the Red Room or whatever the fuck it is. Because I
Yup,
grew up playing a lot of like LucasArts fucking like puzzle
point and click
adventure games,
adventures.
you know, like Sam and Max Hit the Road. And I think that's like
Oh,
that
fuck yeah.
combined with like the Genesis is why I'm so good at video games, is because all the video games I played as a kid were hard as fuck. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Curse
were
of
they-
Monkey Island, like the third Monkey Island game, that is one of the hardest games I've ever beat. And it's just because they drop you off and they're like, fucking figure it out, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. They just drop you into the fucking guacamole
Yeah.
without a single weapon.
I'll never
Like, here you
forget,
go,
as long
man.
as I live, that third fucking Monkey Island game, Curse of Monkey Island. And there's
That
a
game's
boat.
so fucking good.
Oh, it's probably the best game that LucasArts ever made as far as those adventure games go. Maybe Day of the Tentacle. I'll hear that as an argument, but whatever.
I fucking love Day of the Tentacle also,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Maniac
Maniac
Mansion and Day of
Mansion's
the
way
Tentacle
up there
were
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, Maniac Mansion. But so
Yeah.
the main thing about it that's so funny to me is that like in this game, there's a rowboat, and you literally have to steal a cookie cutter from a baker and then take the cookie cutter and use it on a rubber tree to form a plug to plug the hole in the boat.
What the fuck?
Right. It's like, why would anybody ever think that's what you have to fucking do? It's just crazy. And there's
That's-
no clues. There's no nothing.
That's
and
some
those-
fucking Simon's Quest kneel in the corner for the tornado bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Well, Simon's Quest and Galaxy Quest and Space Ace, all those other games are fucking trash. The only good game Sierra ever made was Leisure Suit Larry when it comes to that. And Myst. I think they made
Ooh.
Myst. Even though I'm not a big fan, you have to acknowledge it was a good for that kind of game.
Yeah, Myst and Riven are both fucking phenomenal.
Sea of Thieves is a great open world pirate ship stuff. Crack Babies 89.
I have heard a lot of good things about that from, of all people, Freddie Prinze Jr. That dude is like a fucking, he's a
No
fiend
wonder
on
you're
Sea of
suicidal.
Thieves.
You got Freddie Prince next to you.
Yeah, man, he won't shut up about Sea of Thieves. No, he was on Macaulay Culkin's podcast at one point. He was fucking selling Sea of Thieves like it was his fucking game, like he had stake in the company.
Steak. All right, buddy. I'm gonna cut you loose. Thank you so much for watching. You should stop by and join the room and start bantering with people.
Fuck yeah, man!
I don't know if you've ever watched it, but it's a blast.
We
do this Friday through Tuesday, 7:30 through 10:30 every night.
I've popped in on like one stream that I lurked on for like 10 minutes, and then I think I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's must have been a political episode. But thank you so much, man. We will definitely reach out and have you again. Don't kill yourself, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I probably won't. That's a strong probably too.
I like the realism there. You're like,
I'm
no
trying
promises.
To be a little more,
Apology accepted.
a little good better.
Oh shit!
A little good better. All right,
You
brother.
know what I'm saying.
All right, brother. I'm gonna cut you loose. Thank you so much for doing this, Eric. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was a great time, dude.
Absolutely, dude. Talk to you later.
Yo.
All right, that was Derek Johnson. You can find him in those links. One of my favorite dudes, very big video game geek. Him and I always end up geeking out about the fucking vids. Let's see here. We've got our next caller is just waiting in the queue. Everybody's just waiting in the queue. Let's see here. That one's pretty good. I like that one. He's in the chat room too, so if you can hear me, buddy, I'm finding the best picture of you. Oh, holy shit. There's a picture of you with short hair and no beard. You don't even look this. Yeah, never cut your hair. Ever. There we go. There we go. There's that. We have to expand. Enhance. Enhance. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's boom. Hello. How are
Hello,
you?
can you hear me?
How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm hanging in, man.
Good.
Living the life.
Identify to the viewers who the fuck you are.
My name is Zach Ashton, but mere mortals can call me Jesus Christ. I mean, if it makes you feel good, do it.
Well, shit. If you're gonna lead with that, I'll go back to that MNCS picture.
There you go. There you go. I mean, do what thou will. Show me the whole of the law.
I like
That's
you.
Satanism.
You're way better.
Satanism.
You're way better than the real Jesus. He's like always judgy and shit.
Dude, and you know what? He wants you to be poor, and I don't want that for you. Much like Tony Robbins, I want you to unlock the power within. And I'm going to teach you here today how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crack Babies 89 goes, damn, this guy definitely smokes weed.
I am very high. Yeah, I was waiting. You were like, you want to be on the show? And I said, yeah. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'll just do drugs until he
I'm
calls
pretty
me.
sure when I saw your name in chat that I know exactly who you are. I'm not going to reveal it. I'm
Who's
not going to
that?
reveal
No,
it.
you do it. You do it. Because I'm wondering if you know.
Oh, I guarantee you I know.
Who do you think it is?
And I'll tell you why I know. It's because everybody else in this room is here every night.
Ah, there you go. Process
So
of elimination.
it's probably Med City Madness would be my guess.
Med City Madman, you are correct. I was going to pull off the hood like Vince McMahon and be like, it was me, Austin. It was me all along.
How are you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, man.
So here's what we're gonna
we did
do,
a
right?
low-key comedy
This
show
is why I
today.
wanted you on here, okay?
Oh.
We're gonna low key talk about what we did today, but we're not gonna mention any names.
Right.
Because I
Yeah,
think
you just
you're one of the
needed me-
people.
You just needed me to humble brag.
No.
That's why
I
you
wanted
brought
to
me
give you a
on.
chance to humble brag for sure. But what I wanted to have a fun interaction with you, talking about what we just experienced. But again, like, because here's the thing. I do believe that the other people there don't want really it known that they were there.
Right.
I do believe that. I believe that
right.
they're all.
No, I understand.
You know, and that's why it was like a cool, because you know I wanted to have you on here anyways, but now it's a cool thing because I can be like, hey, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Well, and you don't care if I mention it, right? That's why I was asking you
Oh,
first.
come on, buddy.
No, I know.
You're talking to a trash wizard. Who
A trash wizard. Is that what you is that should be, first off, that should be your Twitch name, is Trash Wizard. Second
Trash
of all,
Wizard, sure.
Trash Wizard is easily the best Jesus. He would have to be.
Right.
Third all, here's a Randy Savage fucking drop.
Apology accepted.
There you go. All right, so
Hulk Hogan, I remember a time when the mega powers were bonded. Yeah.
You know?
that's pretty good.
You made a lot of promises to the Macho Man. Promises that you couldn't keep. Yeah.
That one was worse.
That was WrestleMania 5. WrestleMania 5.
Oh, no, WrestleMania 5 was worse.
Not as bad as WrestleMania 9, believe it or not. The Mega Powers exploding was definitely better than Giant Gonzalez versus Undertaker. What do you know?
That's right. I always forget about that Giant Gonzalez match. Although, I don't know, man. Fuck the superpowers.
They use chloroform.
Because what are you? You're
They
fighting
use
Tugboat and
chloroform
Earthquake?
on
Who gives a
guy
fuck?
Who's alleged. I mean, you know, I'm all about, like, I get it, wrestling's fake and all that, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to have him be a walking zombie, The Undertaker, you shouldn't be able to use chloroform on the guy. You know, like, you can't hit him in the nuts and you can't use chloroform because technically he's dead. It shouldn't slow him down any.
So you think, like, Walking Dead, if you chloroform one of those zombies, it wouldn't shut him down even a little bit?
No, not at all, man. Not
Okay.
at all, because the brain is still intact, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you've really vivisected this in your mind.
I've done a lot of zombie shit. Here's the question for you, Corey Adam. Are you ready? And for the viewers at home.
Of course.
This is what frustrates me. I am a huge fan of 28 Days Later. Great fucking movie. Up there, you know, for me.
Wait, is that the second one?
Why don't... What's that?
Which one's the, like... Wait, is it 28 Days? Like, what's the sequel? The first... I like the first one. I don't like the second one.
28 Days Later is the great one. 28 Weeks Later is the American piece of shit that they made to get money that had Hawkeye in it from Avengers.
Yeah, that movie fucking blows.
That's a big piece of shit. No, okay, it's literally driven by plot holes. Doesn't matter. Here's the question. Why don't the rage zombies attack each other? Because they're not undead. They're not out to eat people. They're just really pissed off. And why wouldn't they, when they're just pissed off, see each other and just go full on, you know, Khabib on a motherfucker and just...
Well, I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but I have no real answer for you.
Hang on one sec. Oh man, the dog needs something. All right. So we continue with the show, the secret show we did. Very exciting.
Yeah, you could. Do you want to break it or should I?
You go for it.
All right. So so today at about 3-ish, we engaged in stand-up comedy like rebels, and it was really cool and interesting because the setup was 4 comics who were standing very far away from each other, and then a balcony deck, and then down in the yard is like this fire pit, and they got a karaoke speaker. So we were literally just doing comedy to like 8 people down in the trench, and those people all tossed money. We all walked away with cash money. But the main thing that's really interesting to me, and maybe I'll see if I can't pop this into the database and play in my set, because I did record it, because I record all my sets. But you know what's so crazy, Zach? You know I record all my sets, and you know how hard I grind. I'm a grinder, right?
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. OG.
So what was really crazy is when I came home and I was looking at it, right? Since March 12th, I have done 3 sets of stand-up comedy.
That's 2 more than I think I've done.
1, 2, 3. Hold on. 1, 2.
I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I was going right up until the end. I mean, the last one I think I did.
Check it out. I'm counting them right now.
Mics,
I'm counting them right now. I did 14 sets prior to that.
Here's the real quick kick in the dick question, man. I got how many? And if you don't want to say, you don't need to. But how many paid shows have you had canceled because of this shit?
My money number is now coming up on $9,000.
That's fucking insane, dude. That's
when
fucking
insane. When it
insane.
first hit, the damage was $3,000 of stuff just on the books. That plus recurring stuff plus like Sisyphus checks and stuff, about $9,000 I've lost already.
Yeah. Okay.
And unlike a lot of people, I'm not a fucking substitute teacher to fall back on. You know what I mean? Like This is just
Right.
pure fanatical fucking dick joke.
Well, they can't fall back on anything either. I mean, shit, you know, they ended the school year all the way through. It's like over, which really sucks because I was gonna go back and see some of my students that were graduating 5th grade this year, like going on to middle school, and that shit's just not happening now. You know.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Matt Doima's out there hitting my promo for me. Don't forget, guys, hit up Venmo and PayPal, and any money you give helps me. That's super rad. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting ordeal today because it was like the most Midwestern speakeasy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was
Yeah.
like weird ass shandy beer and fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon. Or no, Coors Light. It was Coors Light. And then there's a barbecue, and then there's a weird ass like comedy into a pit scenario. How did it feel? How did it feel to hit the stage again for you?
It's phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing like it, you know. I mean, there is. I don't know. I always enjoyed doing metal shit more. Being on that stage is always kind
Tell
of.
people about your metal shit because a lot of people don't know who you are. You know what I mean? Like just explain
sure.
like, what you do.
Yeah. I mean, well, right now I'm what you call freelance, because I was in a band and it broke up just as we were really catching a lot of fucking momentum. Because of course, you know, wouldn't be my life without a little bit of heartbreak in there. But yeah, you know, we fucking jam the metal. We're called Trip the Grid, and you know, we're the fucking Cat's Meow. So I mean, look it up or whatever. But I don't know. There's always just there's a freer. You feel more free when you're doing music on stage, especially because I'm just a metal vocalist. So my job is just to, you know, scream at people and get them to murder each other in front of me, which is just great. So if you go back to live shows, keep doing that. It's super fun to watch. But you know, but even still, it's just performing for people, man. It's the looks on their faces. It's what it's about, really. And it was awesome, man. It was really cool. Plus, we got to stand up on this deck and look like we were dictators with these little mini microphone stand.
First off, it was Dectators.
Yeah, we were Dectators.
Yeah,
there you go.
we were Dectators.
I love that.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, it was a really interesting time, you know, and John Russell fucking did a great job, you know, emceeing it. Like it just like it was super awesome. Like the comic, like not being able to do comedy for this many months just reminds me of how much I love and miss it. And
right.
Here's the thing.
Right.
I started
100%.
this Twitch show, and I love this. This is fun, too. I enjoy interacting with each and every person here. I like the fact that I started a show that was different as far as, like, not just an open mic or anything like that, right? And, like,
sure, of course.
The real thing about this that's just absolutely insane is that, you know, 2 months now, I've been on stage 3 times.
Yeah, man. And that's it.
And it's just like you forget how much you miss it because there's, like you're saying, there's nothing like it. I love radio and I love doing this, but it doesn't scratch the itch in the same way because it's not the same thing.
Absolutely not. No, and it's just there's something about putting your art out there, and I think the reason that it feels so good when you succeed is because it can go so fucking terribly wrong, like in a moment.
Well, I was almost nervous going up to the mic just because it had been so long.
I know, because it's been so long. But I mean, there's always that fear of bombing, and so when you get consistent and you don't bomb, that's part of the rush too. Because I mean, you know, it's always in the back of your mind. If you're worth your weight, trust me, you've died more than you've succeeded if you're any good at this.
Matt
you know
Doima says podcasting is methadone.
His podcast is methadone. Boom.
Because it puts you to sleep.
Exactly. And then, you know, you feel like shit afterwards. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm actually kidding. Don't be mad. Or do. Honestly, I can't give a shit anymore. Nice long pause from Corey Adam there, ladies and gentlemen. Good dead air time.
I'm still pausing.
Yeah, he nailed it.
I'm trying to load up a sweet sound graph. You can't hear the sounds is the problem.
I can't hear the sounds. I cannot. No. You sound like a disappointed parent,
terrific.
which I get it. Okay.
What a dork.
Matt Doima said Zach was episode 13.
I was. Yes, I remember being 13. And
such a vulnerable age, that 13.
I honestly, you know, I felt weird that he invited me over, but at the same time there was wine coolers. I felt very comfortable.
All right,
Video games were played.
This is getting weird. I bet it was soccer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you know? How did you know that?
Because pedophiles love soccer games.
Do they really? FIFA's big with the pedos.
Yep.
Actually, I think it was we were playing. I was playing Tekken with Ahmed. I think that was the day that we were over there. But
Okay.
I don't know. Speaking of, dude, did you see the video? I took him golfing for the first time recently.
No.
Hilarious. Oh man, it's on my fucking Facebook and Instagram and shit. You gotta watch it. It's fucking, man, good times. He liked driving the cart, so there's that. But
who doesn't like driving the car? He had never been golfing?
no, never. So
That seems
he also
weird.
up until this last year he hadn't carved a pumpkin either, so I had him do that. He didn't like that part, but then when the fall ended, it was like smashing pumpkins time, and yeah, who doesn't love that? I was like, all right, now here's the fun part, right? Here's the fun part. We take these fucking things and we go smash them.
Did you actually say smash them?
Yeah, just like that, dude. Smash them. We're gonna smash the shit out of them.
Oh shit!
And then we're gonna listen to Billy Corgan afterward, and that part's not as fun, but it's poignant. It's poignant.
And just like that, I'm out.
Hard no.
Here's the thing: how did Courtney Love get 3 giant rock stars?
I thought you were gonna say, how did she kill Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, not only that, they banged her and they wrote her albums for her after she had killed the first one. Craziness.
Super crazy.
Super crazy.
So what's next for you? Like you, summertime for you, right?
What an open question.
Well, I mean, what's the next move? You've mastered deck comedy.
Oh yes, of course. Another feather in my bow, as it were. I don't know, man. Like the thing that's really frustrating to me is like this has to end by August 1st. Like, but I know it won't.
Right, it's not.
But it fucking has to, man, because I finally got I was finally getting feature work here and there. But the big
get
one was,
get ready for that to evaporate.
Yeah, I know it. But here's the thing: I had Goonies lined up finally, like my first one there, and it's like your home club, and
yeah, I had one on the books to
and
headline there. It was me and Fisher.
Yeah, and
I haven't headlined there ever because like fucking the Yoders hate me because I wouldn't let them take Sisyphus from me.
Yeah, I can see that.
They when Sisyphus first opened, they were all like, "Hey man, send me a letter, of recommendation to the owner." And so I sent one to Sam, and I was like, "Hey man, just tell them I did this, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then immediately after that, they stopped working me, and like other comics wrote letters and stuff. But like, whatever, dude. Fucking Clampy was asking for me and Chris Maddock to come down there, and they never would let us. They're like, "No, you have to fucking pay your dues. You need to go to fucking Sault Ste. Marie." And it's like, how about you just get fucked and put me in Rochester when the booker wants me there?
Yeah, I need you in Fargo on a Wednesday. That kind of shit, for sure.
I mean, it's still better than Barry Neal and like all that Entertainment Shack mess, but still, like.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But no, so I was just frustrated because it's like, dude, I worked for this for, I'm coming up on 5 years of this shit, and it was finally starting to click a little bit, and now it's like, just the traction's out from under the tires, and you're just like, well, what do we do? And it's like, nothing. There's nothing you can do.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, it's like, great. I'm so glad I moved up here for a fucking pandemic to start up 10 months later. That's fucking cool. That's fucking awesome.
Well, that's what you get. You should have moved here earlier, Dick.
Well, yeah, because my financial situation was so ready for that. Yeah. Anyway, man, this has been cheerful. I'm glad I came.
Is that sarcasm?
No.
Okay, good. Because if that was sarcasm, I would have to get upset.
Of course. Of course.
Wait a minute. Is that sarcasm?
Apology accepted.
Excuse me, bitch.
What? So like seriously, like you're just like on summer break now. You would be anyways at this point, almost, right?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I mean,
like, what does your day look like? Are you just hunkering down at home and doing fucking nothing like everybody else?
No, it's been awful, man. Like every day I wake up and I just hear the Law and Order fucking dun dun, and it says Zach's house, fucking noonish, and I get up and I'm
and every
like,
episode there's a new victim.
It's just me over and over. I'm just dressed differently. You know what I mean? Like, oh God.
Whoa! Stop ruining the theater of the mind, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, I thought I opened it up. You know,
Okay.
Really. This time I was dressed like a sexy astronaut. Now I'm dead.
I like how Matt Doima's in here promoting his podcast, but he's also like one of the only people that's not subscribed in the channel. What an asshole.
Oh, man. He's very Michael Jordan about things, isn't he? I'm just kidding. Everybody's been talking about Michael Jordan lately. I think something came out about him or something. He's a psycho.
I just think that it came out that it was a conspiracy the NBA closed. They were just trying to make sure LeBron couldn't beat Jordan's.
What, like the conspiracy that he quit basketball because he wanted to play baseball, even though he was definitely gonna get suspended for 18 months or fucking.
That's
gambling.
That's not why he quit. He quit because he got his dad murdered with gambling debts.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, the gambling debts had come to a head, and you know, he might have been in on some game fixing and shit, like in the NBA, so they fucking were going to suspend him for 18 months. And he fucking leaves, he makes Space Jam, we play some baseball, fine, whatever. And then after 18 months is over, wouldn't you know it, Michael found the will to play again. Boy, howdy. And, 2 more championship rings, and nobody remembers.
Probably up beside the jukebox says, great skit idea.
What's a great skit idea?
I don't know. These comments are so delayed, you can't even tell what they were talking about a lot of the time. Mikey Two Milk says, oh shit, Johnny's going to be pissed at you. You pulled the gig off before he did. Well, his gig was different, and I also had not really much to do about this. I was just contacted and said yes. That's all that happened on my end. We had a friend of ours that was trying to pull off, like, secret comedy up at a farm, and people pulled the rug out from under him.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, man, it seemed fine. I think we're fine. I think.
Everybody was kind of spread apart, anyways. It wasn't like we were clustered on top of each other. I mean, the whole fucking group of people were down below us in a fire pit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm so done worrying about the fucking buboes.
Well,
the
you're
bubonics.
Jesus. If you die, you'll just rise again.
Yeah, dude, right, exactly. Like, he's a fucking dude. You're talking to a guy who's survived, lived through the swine flu. Like, I caught the swine flu and I lived.
Is that true?
So, yeah.
What was swine flu like?
Oh man, it was an outbreak at the call center in Rochester, Charter Communications that I worked at, and caught that shit. It was bad, man. It's like you're throwing up so much that you can tell there's like not enough fluids in your body, and you're getting like dizzy, kind of.
Like you're just like dry heaving blood.
It started to like feel like it's not driving blood, but like the bottom parts of your guts, like just like the worst shit. And I remember throwing up so much that my fucking back muscles hurt from it. Like, yeah, it was a whole thing, but it was like a 2-week thing, and then back to work. So. What I'm saying is people.
How long did it last?
About 2 weeks.
That's not bad.
No, it really wasn't. It was like the flu, but like the Dudley boys putting you through a flaming table flu. It was just a lot worse. Is what I'm trying to say.
A flaming table flu? That sounds like the worst punk rock band ever.
Like, no, it's like going through the table is bad enough, but when they put you through the flaming table,
okay,
then it means business.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you survived, though. That's crazy. Fucking swine flu? Who knew? I would have had you on the show sooner if I knew you had swine flu.
Well, we survivors, we don't like to brag.
Yeah, you really never brag about your credentials, do you?
We're just, I really don't. That's so funny. I don't. Come on, I thought everybody hated me too. Come on.
I mean, we do, just not as much as you hate you.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So I'm winning. I'm out in front.
I mean, if you can call that a victory, Zach.
I'm taking the lap, buddy. I need it.
You do. You do strike me as somebody that needs a win, and I've always said that about you.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to cut you loose.
Wow.
Derek took up all your time.
I was gonna say, because I'm not talking about some fucking Sega shit, I'm out of here. That's what it is.
That's right.
Wow.
You had your chance, Mister. Could work in the Sega conversation if you wanted to.
I enjoyed Sega more than Nintendo. I like Fallout 3 the most of any game ever, and I like long walks on the beach. Just kidding, those are trash. I'd rather get high on the porch. So there you go.
I just gave
There's
you the skull horn for that.
Yeah,
Apology accepted.
All of it, man. I love what you do. We will have you on here again when there's more time that fucking Derek didn't ruin.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand it. I understand. God damn it, Derek.
What do you tell people where to get a hold of you? Where should they follow you? Where do they watch you?
You can call me at 507. No,
that would be amazing.
I honestly, I just Facebook and Instagram. I'm Med City Madman on Instagram. I think dude. I just come to the fucking shows, right? If you add me on Facebook, I'll put up a show date. You come see me. I'll make you laugh. I'll sign your tits. Whatever you need. It'll be fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really all I need.
I can vouch too. He will sign your tits.
I'll sign. Oh wow, Corey. Thanks.
What?
Thanks. Not that I was.
I'm
gonna
a
make
big
him laugh.
fan,
It's
and you
all
signed
about
him.
That's true.
It's weird how you put Trip the Gag. I didn't know that was the new band name, but whatever.
Well, it's just that's just a little inside joke for us.
Okay. All right.
Sacktown.
I will put Zach Aston in here so everybody can see it. So everybody knows how it's spelled. Thanks so much, man.
I always love how you say Zach Aston, like every time. It's that's not right.
I don't do it when I intro you though.
That's true.
I do it as a funny little jab whenever it doesn't matter.
You do it because it fucks with my brain loop, and I'm like, I know he knows my fucking name. I know he knows it. And, yeah, you got me.
Calm down, Zark.
Oh, thanks.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks so much. Are you going to stay in the chat? You going to keep hanging out?
Yeah, I mean, I might as well. I've got nowhere else.
You're not doing anything else. And we do this Friday through Tuesday, so you can come in whenever. And if you loiter around, maybe somebody will gift you a sub.
Wow.
Or you can even buy one yourself. It'd be better than that cheap-ass Matt Doima.
Somebody's going to gift me, like, a Subway sandwich?
Yeah, don't eat it.
All right. Well, I wasn't going to anyway. That's far too healthy.
Right? All right, thanks, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later, dude.
Later, buddy. That was Zach Ashton. He likes when I say with the S-H. Good guy, really funny. One of the guys that we were talking about where he really was kind of hitting his stride when all this shit got blown up. And there's a lot of people like that in Minneapolis, and I'm sure all over the country, really. But I know the people here. So, what were we going to do? Let's see here. Let's take a look. Hold on. Where is it? There? Is it that one? Oh, God. No. Wait. Maybe. Yeah, let's do this. Actually, here, there was a really good video that came out recently on, I think it was the Washington Post of all places, which is not a place that I usually enjoy getting stuff from. Like, a lot of the times, their shit is bullshit, but they did this really good medical breakdown of how COVID enters your system and how it affects and why it takes so long. So it's kind of an interesting read, read. Read it with your eyeballs and your ear holes. We're going to watch this, and we will be right back.
We've seen countless depictions of it. The mysterious, novel coronavirus that has started a global pandemic. It invades our body on so small a scale that it's invisible to the human eye. But even though we can't see it, what we do know about viruses can provide a way to defeat it. Humans have an interesting relationship with viruses. We often think of viruses as foreign invaders, but viruses are longtime residents of our body, on our skin, in our intestines, and other organs. Many of these viruses, known as phages, even protect us from harmful bacteria. Viruses are so enmeshed with human DNA that at least 8% of our genes come from ancient viruses. But it's ambiguous whether viruses are even alive. They can't reproduce on their own, so they hijack our cellular equipment to make copies of themselves. A coronavirus does this through its corona, or crown of protein spikes. The virus uses the shape of these proteins to gain entry into the cell, like a key in a lock. And like any clever thief, it disguises itself by changing the physical appearance of the protein and masking it with a coat of sugars to trick our immune system. When the entrance is unlocked, the virus is free to deposit its genetic material and set up shop, replicating itself. How do we know the novel coronavirus does this? Well, years of experience with SARS, MERS, and other coronavirus-related diseases have given us a head start. Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, or SARS, is a coronavirus disease that started in China in late 2002. Similar to COVID-19, SARS infects the respiratory system, especially the lungs, where the disease is most lethal. COVID-19 shares almost 80% of its genes with SARS, which is why this novel coronavirus disease is officially known as SARS-CoV-2. 10 years after the outbreak of SARS, another lethal coronavirus disease spread through the Arabian Peninsula. MERS, or Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, proved to be just as deadly, so much so that transmission of both diseases burned out after several months of containment. COVID-19, SARS, and MERS are all zoonotic, meaning the virus originated in animals before it came to humans. And when the novel coronavirus took that jump, it targeted the same entry points that the SARS coronavirus had, proteins called angiotensin-converting enzyme 2, or ACE2 for short. These enzymes are found on cells in our throat, nose, kidneys, and lungs. Normally, they help regulate blood pressure for the body. Coronaviruses turn them into a back door. The spread of the coronavirus between the upper respiratory area, where the virus is most transmissible, and the lungs, where it is most dangerous, may be why COVID-19 is potentially more contagious than MERS and SARS, and also deadlier than the flu. Research has shown COVID-19 to be at least 10 times more likely to bind to ACE2 receptors than SARS. The tighter the connection, the easier it is for the virus to break into a cell and replicate before moving on to its next host. Virus copying doesn't always go as planned, and coding mistakes make for mutations, some that end up destroying the virus. Luckily for us, this coronavirus is not mutating quickly, which means that any treatment developed will be more effective for longer. We're still in the dark on many aspects of how COVID-19 operates. Sure, it's a microscopic war with an unknown enemy, but at least the territory is not completely uncharted.
That is the Washington Post. Like I said, I included that in there. You can go through, read that. It's really interesting, the medical stuff that's coming out, because more and more people are admitting that we don't really know anything. And that's an important concession for people to make. I mean, again, there is no information on this. You can't just trust the shit coming out of China. Because, I mean, China is going to do whatever the fuck they want. For instance, China is actually back at propaganda videos, which I was going to try to get to yesterday, but we didn't have enough time, so we're just going to roll into it here. This is a literal Chinese state media-released animated propaganda film. This is mocking the U.S., as a matter of fact. Like, this is them mocking us because they're in full propaganda mode because they got caught hiding this shit. Like, this, like... They got caught, dog. Like, this shit is happening. Let's see here. There.
December.
Strange pneumonia cases reported.
Roger that.
January.
We discovered a new virus.
So what?
It's dangerous.
It's only a flu.
Wear a mask.
Don't wear a mask.
Stay at home.
It's violating human rights.
Building temporary hospitals.
It's a concentration camp.
Built in 10 days.
Show off.
Time to lockdown.
How barbaric.
February.
It's overwhelming our medical system.
Look how backward China is.
The virus is killing doctors.
Typical third world.
It's airborne.
It'll magically go away in April.
Everyone stay at home.
Violation of human rights.
March.
Our numbers are now dropping.
Impossible. Look at Italy.
We wore masks.
You lied to us.
We made our data public.
You kept everything secret.
Your people are now dying.
You didn't warn us.
We said it was dangerous.
You lied.
April.
We said it was airborne.
You gave false data. Why didn't you warn us?
We said it was dangerous.
The virus is not dangerous, but millions of Chinese are dead. Even though the virus is not dangerous, we are correct. Even though we contradict ourselves.
Gosh, just listen to yourself.
That's right. You lied. We did nothing for 3 months. And because the WHO agrees with China. We're cutting funding for the WHO.
Are you listening to yourselves?
We are always correct, even though we contradict ourselves.
That's what I love best about you Americans. Your consistency.
So that is literally a state-run film that is on their TV stations right now, which is just absolutely insane if you think about it. They're currently getting sued by a bunch of nations for stuff that they didn't really talk about. So, that's kind of whatever. Let's see here. Where else? There's a bunch of stuff. I'm going to use this time right now to get caught up on all these fucking links. It's accurate. It's not accurate. There's nothing accurate about that, Mikey. Shut up. Let's see here. Oh yeah, here's something really cool that I enjoyed. The biggest thing going on right now, or attempting to, is mail voting, like MAIL, is thought to maybe save this election. So even though we're not allowed to text or write in, they're basically pumping this thing about how we can mail in our vote and how it might save the election. This is a thing that Vox did. And again, you'll notice that I jump all over the spectrum for my news sites because I want to have accurate stuff. Do you quarrel, sir? Yeah, right. All right, here's this one. And this is about how mail voting could save the election.
On March 28, 2020, the governor of New York announced that he was delaying his state's April election.
I don't think it's wise to be bringing a lot of people to one location.
18 other states had already delayed or modified their spring elections.
It would endanger public health to allow thousands of people to assemble.
But the state of Wisconsin made a different call.
The only state to move ahead with its election.
Polls, if you can believe it, are open in Wisconsin this morning.
On April 7th, voters in Wisconsin got in line, waited for hours, standing 6 feet apart, wearing masks, with some poll workers in full protective gear. One voter made a sign that seemed to sum up the situation perfectly.
People are calling it the photo of the year.
Quote, "This is ridiculous."
I was sitting with my cardboard in my lap. I was like, this whole thing is just ridiculous. The people who are supposed to be making sure things are safe for us, I felt like they kind of threw us under the wagon,
The next day, the governor of New Jersey announced they were postponing their election too.
I don't want a Wisconsin where folks had to pick between exercising their right to vote on the one hand and protecting their own personal health.
Wisconsin's election highlights something that the U.S. really needs to figure out soon. In November, there's an election to decide the next president, but it's highly unlikely that COVID-19 will be over and done with by then. We might even be dealing with a second wave of it. So if public gatherings are a health risk, how are you supposed to have an election?
I am coming to you from the Roberts Family voting booth here at my dining room table.
This is Dave. He's at home in Seattle, Washington. Dave's done a lot of reporting on what he says is a simple solution to how America can vote during the pandemic.
Tens of millions of people in America vote by mail now every election, and it's fine.
Washington is one of the few states that runs its entire election through the mail.
I think I've been voting by mail since I got to Washington in 2000. Everyone who's done it loves it.
Voting by mail basically works by taking two important elements of voting: verifying your identity and filling out the ballot, and moving them from a polling place to your home, where the ballot gets mailed a few weeks before the election. And that has two really obvious benefits. First,
you can take as much time as you want. You have literally weeks to do as much research as you want. So when you fill that circle, you're like, I'm friggin' voting. I'm capital V voting right now.
And second, voting by mail takes away a lot of the common reasons people don't vote.
Being forced to take a day off work, find someone to watch your kids or take your kids with you and go to a crowded balloting place, hope that your name hasn't been struck from some roll for some random reason, wait for hours, 3 hours, 5 hours in line.
Voting by mail clears those hurdles, and the effects are really easy to see. In 2018, a county in western Nebraska got permission from the state to run their entire election by mail. Every voter there got a mail-in ballot, while voters in the rest of the state voted the old-fashioned way. Across Nebraska, voter turnout was 24%, but in that one county, it was more than double that. Turns out that making it easier to vote means more people vote. On average, states with all-mail voting systems have a higher turnout than other states. A poll from April 2020 found that Americans would overwhelmingly be in favor of holding the next presidential election entirely by mail. But that still leaves a chunk who aren't sold on it. One reason is fraud. The possibility that your vote might be more likely to get lost, stolen, or coerced if you vote at home. So I asked an expert on voting by mail how serious and common a risk this is.
It's exceedingly rare.
So I also asked someone who runs elections.
No widespread or systematic voter fraud.
I asked a political scientist who's an expert on election data.
It's highly unlikely anyone's going to steal your vote.
An election law expert.
The concerns about voter fraud are way overhyped.
And an expert on voting rights.
You are still more likely to be struck by lightning than to find mail ballot fraud.
The reason vote-by-mail fraud is rare is that even though in theory it's possible, it's not very effective. It helps to think in terms of wholesale fraud versus retail fraud. Election security experts worry about wholesale fraud, lots and lots of votes being tampered with at once.
So if a bunch of people are voting on a machine, you just have to hack the one machine and you have access to thousands of votes. Wholesale fraud with one point of contact.
They're a lot less worried about what they call retail fraud, votes that get tampered with one at a time.
I mean, it is possible that someone could come by and steal your ballot, fill it out, sign your name to it, and mail it in, and they thereby would have accomplished changing one vote.
But even if that does happen, vote-by-mail systems typically give you a way to track your vote and make sure it's been counted.
You can track your ballot like an Amazon package. It does not get much more secure than that.
You can actually go on our system and track it from when they receive it, when they verify the signature, and when it's ready to count. If they haven't returned that ballot, I guarantee you that the voter picks up the phone and calls those election officials.
The checks and balances that are in vote by mail in California, there are stronger and stricter guidelines on processing vote by mail than there are in-person voters. To me, it's a much more secure process.
The same week that Wisconsin held its election, the state of Georgia sent all its voters forms that would let them request a mail ballot. But Georgia's Speaker of the House complained. He said voting by mail benefits Democrats.
This will be extremely devastating to Republicans and conservatives in Georgia.
But there's no evidence that voting by mail is better for either party. A study at Stanford found that it doesn't get either party a bigger share of either turnout or the vote itself. All it does is increase the number of people who vote.
We haven't seen any benefit to one party over another.
There's nothing political about voting, and more people voting is a good thing.
Providing that all vote by mail experience didn't change those dynamics. People were still voting the way they wanted to vote.
I'm pretty sure I'm living proof that you can elect a Republican in a blue state, and you can do it in a vote-by-mail environment.
Every state in the U.S. already has some kind of vote-by-mail option. It's called an absentee ballot. But some states will only give you one if you have a good excuse, like if you're out of town or in the military. Other states offer a no-excuse absentee ballot, where you don't need to give a reason, but you still have to request it. Voting by mail is something every state already allows. But very few states are actually prepared to do an entire election through the mail. That's what caused the problem in Wisconsin. In 2016, about 250,000 Wisconsin voters requested an absentee ballot. In 2020, about 5 times that number requested absentee ballots. Wisconsin hadn't prepared for that, so a lot of people never got their ballots and had to go vote in person instead.
I was one of over 55,000 people who had requested an absentee ballot who had not yet received it. I am desperately hoping that we can make that an exclusive option if we're still dealing with unsafe situations in November.
It would not be that difficult to ramp that up in time for the election. I mean, you'd need to start now. It's not trivial, but it's very doable.
In the 5 states that have all-mail voting, there's still an option to vote in person, a backup, mostly for people who didn't get a ballot or weren't registered to vote in time. But in most places, voting by mail is the backup. And if lots of voters feel that voting in person isn't safe, a backup won't be good enough. Preparing election systems for that will take time, and right now, there is time. But only if we start now.
All right, that is Vox. Let's pop this in here. Bloop. Boom. There you go. Wait, did it go? Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's interesting to think about how mail-in voting is probably more secure and guarded than online voting. And that's, I'm not going to say it's a narrative, but that's definitely the dialogue that they want to stress, you know? Just what it is, which is fine. Like, they can do that. That's totally okay. Let's see here. We're just kind of cranking through shit right now. Let's get back up here. See what we got, baby. Wait. Oh, shit. Yes. You know what? We're going to hold that one off for tomorrow. Let's, here's an interesting one. Some Ron Paul stuff, you know. Big old libertarian that I am. He's calling coronavirus tyranny. What do you guys want to do? You know what? Let's make some phone calls. Let's fuck it. We'll get into the rest of it. We already had a fun, weird episode. Let's just keep that going, huh?
What's up, dude?
What up, dog?
Not much, man. How you been?
Good, yourself?
Oh, can't complain.
Identify yourself to the viewers.
This is Tom Chilstrom. I think at this point, y'all kind of know me, but maybe you don't, I guess. How many listeners or viewers or whatever you got tonight?
16.
16 new ones?
Just 16 total.
Oh, see, I'm sure these all 16 know me then.
I mean, they are all putting the Hi Tom stuff in Nightbot, so everybody's saying hi to you.
See, there we go.
It's pretty good. How are you doing, buddy? What? I saw you went live. What was that all about?
Today was, or is, I mean, I guess depending on where you're listening, is World Laughter Day. So I just posted about that, you know, encouraging people to find something that they actually find funny today or humorous, you know, give themselves a little laugh, you know, watch some comedies or...
So people should go find somebody they find humorous?
Yeah, I mean,
all
that's
right,
what
well, have a
people
good
are
night.
here.
I'm going to go find somebody else. All right, that was Tom. Happy Laughter Day. Let's, all right, let's see here.
Oh.
Hey, what up?
Not much, man.
I was told it was National Humor Day by Tom and that I should go find somebody funny, so I hung up on him and then I went somewhere else.
What a gag.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? Like it's show's firing on all cylinders when gags like that work, right?
That's like the easy button, Tom. Don't make it very easy. Poor Tom. He's got to go to work in the morning anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. We got to him later than I like to, and he gets kind of crabby when you call him late at night. So easier to just dump him and run.
Him after 30, me after after 11, right?
Yeah, kind of.
It's like fucking Mogwais or something.
Yeah, you are literally like a Mogwai. That is accurate.
Dude, I'm feeling furry like a Mogwai lately. Jesus Christ, I'm like half sheep over here.
Yeah. Well, fucking get a haircut.
Yeah. No way, man. They're all closed. All my haircut places are closed.
You don't know how to fucking cut your own hair?
No way, man. I don't know how to work on a car or cut my own hair. I'm useless.
Oh, is your hair also a Volkswagen?
I wish you could put wrenches in it. Just adjust it.
I wish somebody would put wrenches in your head for sure.
Hey, that's hurtful.
Is that another gaff?
Literally.
Are we having fun now?
Yeah, so much fun. The gappiest. Dude, I took that picture so long ago now. That's crazy.
Tom's in chat and he just says, "I feel so used."
It's about time, Tom. It's about time. That's the thing. That's the thing that made you feel used
Yeah.
and cheap. not
He
not the
didn't say
years.
cheap. You just said that. Don't add
Yes, I know.
stuff on.
No, I'll add it on. Emphasis needs to be put on cheap. Have you seen the stages he makes?
Yeah, I mean,
shots fired.
Wow, yeah, this got heavy-handed already. I mean, I mean, it's on me because I left somebody not funny for somebody else not funny. See what I did there?
Ooh, yeah, man. I mean, you're the one lighting your show up in flames with two of us.
That's right. Just don't you forget that I light it up in flames.
That's 100% on you. What are you typing in right now?
I'm adding an exclamation Tovar thing because people keep doing it, but there's no. I don't have anything in there. There you go.
It's about time.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead, try it, Tom. Try it now. Exclamation point Tovar.
Oh, I can't wait to see what it says about me.
That's not. It's pretty tame.
So excited to know what the Nightbot is going to say about Tovar. What did it say?
Maybe you need glasses.
He's even grosser under the mask. Ick.
I feel like that's fair. You know.
That's accurate. Yeah, that's accurate.
You actually become more and more appealing the less of you people can see.
I've always said masks are for your protection, not mine.
Yeah, no, you're not. Hey, you're not wrong.
It's always been my argument.
I mean, it is for other people's protection from looking at it. Yeah, you're not wrong. What's your sweet Armageddon tip today?
Okay, so I guess the one thing that I was going to talk about today is just the fact that there are like cell phone companies such as Apple, and I think NPR also posted an article a couple of days ago about just how they're monitoring all this uptick in cell phone traffic and shit. So like, not to travel and shit like that. I'm just trying to tell people that they should be more cognizant of like where you're taking your cell phone, because like specifically right now, I mean, like there are national news articles that are like bragging about these cell phone companies like tracking us and how they know that like these states are breaking these stay-at-home orders because you can see it on the data. So like maybe it's one of those things where like it's not really that bad now, but should you live in an area where a hotspot should pop up, it be something that like 2-3 months down the road, I don't know. I'm still just kind of preparing for the worst and hoping for the best, I suppose. You know, like
I think that's
I'm
a
really
very
excited
like pragmatic approach to it.
Yeah, you know, I'm excited to get out myself and jet ski this summer. You know, I'm waiting for the water to warm up before we put them in. You know, I've started doing some work on the side again, you know, just going to customers' houses and stuff. And so, like, I myself am very cognizant of, like, my own uptick in movement. And I just, I want people to be kind of aware of their own movement and shit like that, too.
What do you mean, like, uptick in movement? What does that mean?
Just, like, I'm moving. Like, I'm not, like, for probably a month and a half, I didn't do shit. I just stayed here. I maybe went to the Menards to go see what they had for canned food and dog food, you know?
Yeah, but you were still, like, moving around your house and shit. It's not like you were
No, yeah. No. I'm saying, like, movement as far as just, like, outside of, like, the 5-mile radius around my household.
Yeah.
You know, like, I went for barbecue the other day up in Anoka, you know, so, like, I'm definitely traveling more. I'm still taking my phone, you know, even though I know that these fucking cell phone companies are tracking my movement. It's a really shitty situation right now, where you're just like, oh, well, I know they're tracking me, and this could be used against me in the future.
Fun story. They are not tracking pay-to-use phones.
Oh, okay. Paying use phones?
Pay-to-use, because you don't have to give your information for it.
Oh, well, yeah.
I have a buddy of mine who's like a bigger conspiracy theorist than we are.
Yeah.
And he bought a burner that he takes with him, and he leaves his regular phone at home.
I've actually thought about doing that. I really have, because like,
well, dude, like a burner phone, you spend like $40-$50 and you get a phone with like some minutes. And if all you're using it for is, hey, I'm outside or come on out, nobody cares.
Yeah, no, I might do that, especially now that I got that Trump check, because I do think it's important that, you know, they don't have a record of your movement if it should get that bad. You know, I know a couple people that I know from St. Cloud have been posting about how they're kind of blowing up right now and they're turning into a bigger hotspot in the state, you know?
Well, it's like I've been saying since fucking January, we haven't seen Wave 1 yet. Wave 1 is coming from New York, and it is progressively going west through our country.
Right.
All this shit we're seeing is precursors of all the other shit that like people traveling and coming back. That's not our outbreak. New York is our outbreak.
Yeah. No, and you clued me into that last week when you showed me the progression from the map east to west, you know.
Right, and if you look at that John Hopkins thing and you watch it every day, you can see it. You can fucking see it. It's like a fucking storm front.
For sure. Well, and like we were talking about this the last couple of days about how we're flattening the curve, but the wave is definitely going over us right now, like for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's so weird though because the information coming out just gets so fucking contradictory all the time. You know, at first it was going to be gone, you know, in April, which I think we all knew wasn't going to be the case, but the data that was coming out early on said that like heat and humidity was going to kill this. So nobody who hit 90 was really worried about it. And now it keeps coming in areas where that is hot.
When I first watched that Joe Rogan podcast, and the guy, I forget the doctor's name or whatever, but I know everyone's seen it.
The dude from the U of M?
Yeah. It was just talking about how this is going to be a couple year thing, you know.
I looked into that Joe Rogan. Fun story about this, right? I looked into that Joe Rogan, and then I studied a bunch of what that guy said, and I was able to just on the site prove him wrong on almost everything he said. Like the 2 years, I think is still accurate. Just the way that it works and stuff. Like even now, if you go back and watch it, he's talking about shit that modern medical community have already dismissed.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you're talking at like 2 months.
Yeah. I'm not saying I blame him, and I'm not saying he's incompetent, but it's amazing how impactful that Rogan was on people for how much of that information just isn't true anymore.
Yeah, and we just didn't know shit. No, I still kind of lend like this is going to be at least an 18-month kind of thing. And I read a meme today that I hadn't thought about, which is the fact
it's
that
meme, Steven. It's meme.
Not in my world. Anyway,
God, I hate people that call it, like, at least mem is fine. I hate the people that call it memes.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, that's very funny. Honestly, I do it to be antagonistic because I think it's kind of funny to mispronounce it.
Yeah.
But like, we don't have a cure for the flu yet. We don't. Like, the vaccination doesn't really do shit. Like, you can go get a flu vaccine, but it doesn't reduce your chances really of getting the flu by a significant amount. It's something that we've been combating, you know, all of my life, my grandparents' life, all their, you know. So like, the odds are very fucking high, and I know that you've talked about this before, that this is just a new thing that we have to deal with on top of the flu every year.
Right, yeah, it's just going to be SARS season.
Yeah, it's just going to be like flu times 2. Oh, what did you get? Did you get the flu or did you get fucking SARS this year? I got both of them. It's a fucking shitty year. You know?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about, too, is that in the future, it is possible that a lot of people will end up getting fucking both.
Yeah.
You know, that's fucking weird.
Well, and technically, if I got it this year, I would have had the flu and fucking SARS because I got the flu real bad. And I know we've talked about this before because a lot of people have had it. And like the end of January, beginning of February, man, I got sicker than a fucking dog.
Yeah.
And I know it was just a real bad flu bug.
But have you been tested?
I don't fucking know.
No,
I'm not sick enough to get tested.
Right, but here's what I'm saying is that I am honestly starting to think that those January sicknesses were it for us.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll know if they do start testing and I come back with the antibodies or whatever.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like if you got the test and you have the antibodies, we'd know. I'm not saying go get it. I'm not going to go get it, but I'm just saying like that's.
Well, if they were going to do a test in a place where I knew that they were testing people that weren't just sick with it, you know, if they were just trying to do root tracing, I'd go do that. Fuck sure, because I'm as curious as anybody to know what the fuck I actually did have in January. You know?
Right. Matt Doima says at least gas would be cheap, and then Arizona is blowing up. I don't think it is. I don't think Arizona, like today was actually really low. I don't think anything's blowing up.
I'll have to look at the numbers. But I mean, to be fair, like some of these southern states that are hot spots have been warm for a while now. Like Florida's been warm for a while now. You know, like
yesterday the entire country only had 1,000. It's one of the lowest we've had in months.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that last night when you called it. We're just kind of on the downswing of the fucking spike because it looks almost like a cardiogram, like a heart wave sign, you know?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like an audio wave because it goes up and it goes down, and every time it spikes
it's a sine
up,
wave, yeah.
people are getting more and more contaminated.
Yeah. Well, and what you're seeing, so like the days that you're seeing all this high death, that's not a direct relation to that day or the day before. When you're seeing a death spike, that's because a bunch of people were out 2 weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying, right? And like now,
how long it
you're
takes
gonna
for the
see
thing
you're
to
gonna see the
process
spike.
through.
You're gonna see the spike. That's why, like, the thing that's interesting is with Florida and all these places opening up, we'll know next week what's going on. We'll know in 2
and
weeks
that's
what's
crazy.
going on.
Yeah, because and that's the craziest thing, and what's got me kind of most shit is because like the junction period between the death rate and when people are infected is so fucking far apart that like you see all these people going out and protesting in Michigan, and you're like, well, that's got to be bad in 2 weeks. And then you sit around and wait for the fucking next sine wave to go up because you know it's going to.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Ugh, what
Yeah,
a weird
it's fucking
time
nuts,
to
man.
be around.
I just can't wait for the water to get warmer so I can be on a jet ski, my friend.
Yeah, I mean that's coming up.
Yeah. Yes,
I did,
sir.
I did.
No,
I did comedy tonight, like a rebel.
Yeah.
No.
I stopped myself.
No.
Somebody reached out to me today.
Yeah.
And I'm still on the fence about it.
You should definitely do it. The setup's super rad.
Yeah.
They have the comics up on a deck and they're away from the crowd.
I'll think about it for sure. I don't think that anything would happen about it, but still just that fucking thing in the back of my head is like, what if I fucking hurt somebody that I love because I went and did comedy? Like, that would fucking be a huge bummer, you know? Like, I hate having to think about that before I go out and do anything. I fucking hate that the most.
I mean, I guess, but at some point, like, at what point are you entitled to not be a hostage to your own fears, you know? Or apprehensions, I guess. I mean, if you're doing all the stuff, you're keeping your gloves on, your mask on, like, there's no reason why that's any less safe. It's probably more safe than going to Menards.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. You're absolutely right. No, it is. It's just, it's more, and I'll admit that right up front. It's more of a mental hurdle in my own fucking head,
Yeah.
you know, for
no,
sure.
I mean, that's how mental hurdles work.
Yeah.
I've never seen a mental hurdle outside someone's head.
What is that? It's my shit.
Yeah, that's hey, do you mind not touching my fucking hurdle? That is mine.
From time to time.
What a
Take
dork.
pride in that. Who
Yeah.
built that?
I don't know. Mind your own fucking business? Is that who built it? That's my hurdle. Get your fucking hands off it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, what a weird thing. Tom said that he was taking a shower and going to bed.
Who cares, Tom?
It's really weird, but like that's like.
Did he put taking a shower in quotations?
No, but like that's exactly the way you get me to call you back when you've fallen asleep.
I just want you to call him one time and catch him cry masturbating in the shower.
You should listen to the second episode he was on.
That's archived. I bet I could go back and listen to it. It's fine. I'm fine.
All right, tell people where to get a hold of you. I'm cutting you loose.
Stephen Tovar 79 this Wednesday on Instagram, Fridays on Facebook, and eventually I'll be back on Monday doing something.
What's up with that? What's up with that Monday show? You keep saying eventually, but now this is like what, third week gone?
Third week, yeah. I just I'm looking for some excitement. I'm looking for something to do that I can get excited about. I know that I've been doing some.
You are cutting out all over the place, buddy.
Oh, well then, yeah. How about now? Any better?
Yeah, way better.
Okay. No, I know I've been doing a lot of shows on Friday with Brady, Taxation and Stuff, that guy. And so I'm thinking maybe doing a show with him as a co-host on a Monday, and just doing like a pre-planned show with him with guests, and I'm doing a little bit more with my Friday show.
Okay.
So I think that's why I'm still trying to build those other two, which aren't really important because I know I need to get back on Twitch because that's where the money's at. But I'm just trying to, I don't know, take my time with it and not try to stress myself out.
Like honestly, like, and this is, I'm not trying to belittle you or anything like that. The time to worry about it from like a money making standpoint was 2 months ago. The big thing now is just keep going with what keep like going with what's making you happy. You know what I mean? Like your
Yeah,
mind state is like, especially like you're saying, it's under so much attack and pressure right now just from your anxieties and shit. Like embrace the shit that makes you happy. If that Monday show wasn't making you happy, cut it, you know? And if you don't feel like you have a solid idea for it, why bring it back? Who gives a fuck?
The thing is though, like, it's not that I wasn't having any fun with it, you know, like I enjoy the production aspect of it, you know, like learning shit is kind of frustrating. And the other thing is that like I think we're going to be getting another a newer, more capable computer here in the next week or two. And so that's going to make things a lot easier too.
Well, just having two computers will make it a lot easier anyways.
Yeah, like the network card on this laptop's starting to go out because like we're watching a show tonight, like every 25 minutes or so, it's just fucking dropping the network.
Sure.
And so I'm like, well, there's the beginning, the end of that. And you know, I've just done enough with computer stuff that I can see the writing on the wall. I would like a really nice, like modern gaming PC.
Yeah, I bet.
Been a while. Well, and
I want a pony, motherfucker. We all want things.
I used to build them, and we could like I'm sure you've built some.
Yeah, well, yeah. I built many a computer.
Yeah.
I would build my computer quite a bit
from time to time. I'm a huge Newegg.
Yeah, I like Micro Center personally, just because like if Newegg
they're right
up,
close
it's
to
like,
us.
Well, yeah, but like you can order like not, and I'm talking pre-COVID, I guess, but like
the
main thing with Micro Center is like you can order it online and you'll get very similar prices to fucking Egg, but like if something's fucked up, you can just drive it over to St. Louis Park and fix it.
Tell me about
that day, you know, like
ask me how many processors I've fried in my lifetime.
Probably a bunch.
Too many. No, but I'm too old to like. I'm not building a fucking laptop or whatever. But like, I know like enough about.
What?
I know enough about computers to find a pretty good deal on it. Also, you know what? You know why I stopped building my own system is because like you used to save a shitload of money building your own computers.
Yeah, that's
like,
not
a
true.
lot
Or
of
the pre-made. I mean, I honestly to this day don't understand why people don't get laptops anymore. Like everybody's getting these towers, and like you get a high-end laptop. Like I've got this Lenovo Legion that I run here. You get a graphic jump card, which is like another $100, and now your system is as good as almost any fucking tower on the planet, and it's portable.
Well, and that's the thing is that like the video cards that I used to put in towers 10, 15 years ago are like nothing compared to what laptop today.
Sure.
Oh, and the argument that you can game just as hard on a laptop as you can on a computer. And I get it. Like if you're going to focus like on a no-pick something, if you have like a hard dedicated game and you're twitching and you're doing a lot of fucking computing power, I see the argument for a tower system, you know. Plus, towers today you can make really fucking cool. But, like, just for, like, bang for your buck, if you're going to get into just a couple of games and you want a nice, reliable computer, you're at a video game, a video PC, RAM. That's all you need.
Sure.
Yup.
All right, well, I'm going to cut you loose. Audrey says you need to get back to Grand Theft Auto with Zach.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. That's really funny.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for calling in. Let people know again where to get you.
Oh, yeah. I'll be on Instagram with my cousin this Wednesday, Stephen Tovar 79, and you can catch me on Facebook as Stephen Tovar.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Have fun.
All right, we'll do. Goodbye. That is Stephen Tovar. He is leaving. He is out. He is gone. What else should we do? I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to get around to. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that Mississippi guy. I talked about it, and we queued it up, but we just didn't fucking get there, man. Here is the Mississippi guy. I'm going to fuck this up probably. Hold on. Here's the governor from Mississippi talking about the whole restriction shit from their aspect. Oh, hold on. This one is Fox News, I guess. We're going all over the place today. All over the fucking docket. Here we go.
Many states across the country are beginning to relax restrictions and get back to business, while others are more cautious about lifting stay-at-home orders. We want to discuss the patchwork of reopenings. In hard-hit New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy. But first to Mississippi and Governor Tate Reeves. Governor, you already have gone from a stay-at-home order to a safer-at-home order, and you were going to lift up the restrictions even a little bit more on Friday, 2 days ago, until you saw a new spike in cases in your state. So where are you now in Mississippi?
Well, thank you for having me on, Chris. What I would tell you is that we had a one-day spike. We went up to 392 cases that were reported early Friday morning. We didn't have time to analyze the data before we made the announcement, and we're trying to be very cautious. And so we said, let's analyze the data over the weekend. And what we have found is that it was really a data dump. We got a large number of tests that came in from out-of-state private labs. What we found is yesterday we reported 220 new cases. This morning or later today we'll report less than 110 new cases. So it was a one-day blip, but we wanted to make sure we investigate that data before we make a final decision, so we delayed it.
I want to put up the number of new cases you've had over this past week, because that's what the White House guidelines say you should look at. And you'll see that you went from 281 cases a week ago Friday down to 183, and then back up pretty sharply even before you hit that 397 figure 2 days ago, which raises the question, which I was asking Dr. Birx. Governor, why are you reopening Mississippi at all when you haven't met the White House guidelines of a steady downward trajectory for 2 straight weeks?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, Chris, and it's a fair question. And what I would tell you is that you have to understand that Mississippi is different than New York, and Mississippi is different than New Jersey. In those 2 instances, and by the way, my neighbor to the west was the same in Louisiana. They had a huge spike in cases over a very short period of time, but Mississippi is not like that. What we have seen is for the last 35 to 40 days, we've been between 200 and 300 cases without a spike. Our hospital system is not stressed. We have less than 100 people in our state on ventilators. And so as I talked to the president, the vice president, and the coronavirus task force, I spoke personally with Dr. Birx, and we agree that sometimes the models are just different for different states, just like they're different for various counties. And we believe that particular gating criteria just doesn't work in states like ours, who have never had more than 300 cases in any one day, with the exception of Friday and that data dump.
Governor, we think of protests as something happening in blue Democratic states, but in fact, last weekend, you had a demonstration outside the governor's mansion in Jackson, Mississippi, people demanding a total reopening. As the Republican governor of a red state, what do you think of those protests, and what do you say to those people?
Well, I think a fundamental right of our government is to be able to protest our leaders. And, you know, most of the people that were protesting voted for me last year. We had an election in 2019, and most of them were for me. But you got to understand, Chris, we have a public health crisis in this country. There is no doubt about it. But we also have an economic crisis. And so when I looked at those protesters, I know they were protesting for the 200,000 Mississippians that have lost their jobs in the last 6 weeks. We have an economic crisis in the short term. We have a long-term economic crisis that's going to be very difficult for this country. And I understand and I feel their pain. And we're doing everything in our power to get our state back open as soon as possible.
You've also got a fight with your Republican state-controlled legislature. I want to point out, same party as you are, the legislature, which has voted to strip you of sole authority to spend the $1 billion plus in federal aid to your state that Congress voted. You had sole authority. They have voted to strip you. They passed a bill. First of all, what are we to make of this controversy? And secondly, are you going to veto the bill and maintain sole authority?
It's an absolute terrible tragedy that they have tried to do this particular power grab in the middle of an emergency. We have had long-standing 40-year laws in Mississippi which recognize that in an emergency, you've got to have an executive. You've got to have someone that makes decisions and gets things done. The monies in the CARES Act were sent to the states and sent to the governors so that we could get money out to our people. We don't have time for committee meetings. We don't have time for committee hearings. We don't have time for politicians to cut deals. What we need in Mississippi is to get that money in the pocket of the 200,000 Mississippians who have lost their jobs. I'm terribly disappointed in our legislative leadership. I think they made a huge mistake. That was round one in this battle, but we're going to continue fighting it because we're going to stand up for the people of this state.
But just briefly, are you going to veto the bill they passed?
Well, we're deciding what we're going to do right now. We have...
That means yes. All right, this guy just tapers off after that, but kind of an interesting take, like just the idea. Let's see. Killer Sunshine 07 says, people just need to do their part in social distancing, stay home when sick, and work together to get us up and running rather than all complaining and protesting. Just suck it up and do it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Like, the problem with this, and Tovar can vouch for that. Tovar is a very adamant being careful, like it's in his head, but the math, there's no math. Like, that's the problem, is that even what we're doing right now, we won't know if it works or if it did anything or if it was wrong till 2 weeks from now. Like, when we know if opening up Georgia and Florida was a mistake, it will already be too late to remedy that. And that's, I think, where all of this is getting real crazy. And it's important to look at the fascism that's attached with it, because there is a lot of liberal fascism going on. And I know that's a trendy word for the Republicans, but it's not about left or right. It's about what's better for our country, and that's part of the problem that I have. I found a really good addressing of Ron Paul, where he's talking about the tyranny, but more importantly, there's a thing that they're trying to pass through right now that's kind of going under everybody's radar about forced vaccinations and medical certificates. And that shit, it's about to get way worse than just stay at home. I mean, in Minnesota, we have fucking narc lines. That's a thing we have. People are supposed to narc on their neighbors. Here is Ron Paul talking about it.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. Next in coronavirus tyranny, forced vaccinations and digital certificates. In my first week in the House of Representatives in 1976, I cast one of the 2 votes against legislation appropriating funds for a swine flu vaccination program. A swine flu outbreak was then dominating headlines, so most in D.C. were frantic to do something about the virus. Unfortunately, the hastily developed and rushed into production swine flu vaccine was not only ineffective, it was dangerous. Approximately 50 people who received the vaccine subsequently contracted Guillain-Barré syndrome, a potentially fatal form of paralysis. According to an expert with the Centers for Disease Control, the incidence of Guillain-Barré was 4 times higher among those who received the swine flu vaccine than in the general population. That sad history may soon repeat itself. Right now, governments and private industries are working to rapidly develop and deploy a coronavirus vaccine. Microsoft founder Bill Gates, who is a major funder of these efforts, has suggested everyone who receives a vaccine be issued a digital certificate proving he has been vaccinated. Dr. Anthony Fauci, whose record of wrong predictions makes him the Bill Kristol of epidemiology, also wants individuals to carry some proof they have been vaccinated. Another authoritarian proposal floated to deal with coronavirus is to force everyone to download a phone apps that will track their movements. This would allow government officials to identify those who may have been near anyone who may have had coronavirus. Such mandatory contact tracing is an assault on our privacy and liberty. Vaccines can improve health. For example, vaccines help reduce the incidence of disease like polio. But not all vaccines are safe and effective for all people. Furthermore, certain modern practices, such as giving infants multiple vaccines at one time, may cause health problems. The fact that vaccines may benefit some people or even most people does not justify government forcing individuals to be vaccinated. It also does not justify vaccinating children against their parents' wishes. And it certainly does not justify keeping individuals and families in involuntary quarantine because they do not have digital certificates proving they've had their shots. If governments can force individuals to receive medical treatment against their will, then there is no reason why governments cannot force individuals to buy medical insurance, prohibit them from owning firearms, dictate their terms of employment, and prevent them from taking arguably harmful actions like smoking marijuana or drinking raw milk. Similarly, if government can override parents' wishes regarding medical treatment for their children, then there is no reason why governments cannot usurp parental authority to other areas such as education. Proponents of mandatory vaccines and enhanced surveillance are trying to blackmail the American people by arguing that the lockdown cannot end unless we create a healthcare surveillance state and make vaccination mandatory. The growing number of Americans who are tired of not being able to go to work, school, or church, or even to take their children to a park because of government mandates should reject this deal. Instead, they should demand an immediate end to the lockdowns and the restoration of individual responsibility for deciding how best to protect their health. Thanks for listening.
Whoops, there we go. Mic on. God, this new system is so weird with this specific background. But yeah, that was Ron Paul. Love that guy. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, I think we're good on time now. I think it's time that we do our old move into the end phase routine. Here we go. Ready? All right, here we are in the end phase. Yeah, hi. How's it going? Thank you for everybody that showed up. Let's let's see here. Hold on. There we go. All right. Hold on. Sorry, we're almost done. There we go. All right. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Ass faces. Shut up. Don't fucking call people ass faces in here, bro. That's not cool. We all friends, man. We do this every night, Friday through Tuesday, 7:30 to 10:30. Thank you guys for joining us. Sometimes it runs a little late. Nothing we can really do about that, but whatever. Where is that? Boom. There it is. Got it. I found it, bitches. Hell yeah. That one. Okay, we forgot that one, which is fine. There we go. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much. I apologies. Good night, beautiful eyes. Thank you. That's very appreciative. You're the man. Thank you guys so much for coming out, hanging out with us. Super awesome. Thanks to everybody that we talked to, except for Tom. Don't forget to go to PayPal or Venmo at Corey Adam Comedy and donate whatever you can, or subscribe or donate bits. All the money you give goes directly to helping me and your generosity is part of why this show exists. So, yeah, great night. We're going to have fun tomorrow, too. Tomorrow is going to be a fucking crazy show. It's going to be a little wrestling heavy, so sorry about that in advance, but it's going to be really fascinating and interesting. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you tomorrow night. We'll see you tomorrow night. I just like the Twins. Go Twins.